invade the enemy jungle, put a little bit of pressure here. Rock not giving anything for free, wants to make it a little bit uncomfortable for SCARZ here.
Yeah, and definitely it is uncomfortable, but the bot lane, that's going to be the prio lane that Gen.G wants to put pressure on, because if they can open up the side lanes, it opens up entry into the jungle, and you know, jungle buffs are really critical. If you give it to Rock, especially the Crimson buff, true damage is already going to hurt. He's able to deal true damage with his Resplendent Revolver. Give him more buffs, he's not going to be fun to deal with.
Yeah, but Gen.G doing such a good job. I mean, they've got the lead. They've taken the top T1, which again just opened up the map. But now with this Ray, Inua, frontliner, oh, the Fever Barrage right onto Glow. They found it, but the Fate Rewind, he says, no thanks. I got 88 miles an hour, and I'm back in town.
That was close, a little close for comfort.
A little too much. Arashi at half-life. It looks like they're going to back off. The Wild Growth will zone most of this. But again, an ult for an ult. Not the worst thing in the world, but Rock, again, it's just about the opportunity, the threat of that Fever Barrage. He's starting to do some damage.
Yeah, and it's not even just about the Fever Barrage. So far, his Resplendent Revolvers, they're doing quite a bit of damage as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, yeah, set up by the Wandering Bees from Clue. So, you know, the 1-2 combination that they have has been quite strong, right? And the threat is there. Just being able to just kind of slam into one hero a lot to do a ton of damage is quite huge. Rock, on the other hand, though, still needs a little bit more time. He's not doing that bursty type of damage from Marco Polo. He's going to take a little bit more time to get online.
Yeah, but he's doing well already, right? The moment he has Doomsday or it out.
Again, right? And so this is the thing where it's like Rock has got all the damage, but like, okay, you know, we'll just eat it up. I mean, we have ASD on this Menki as well as Glow. We'll just tank it all and then just get ourselves out of there. I mean, they had the opportunities. This has been a good counter draft thus far. At least they're keeping themselves in this. Again, they want to go a little bit towards the late game, slow the game down.
Yeah, they definitely need to slow things down. But right now, actually, if we take a look at the growth of the items and the gold deficit, right? There is very little that separates the teams here, especially in the farm lane. Both farm laners actually neck and neck. Majority of the difference comes in the mid lane, actually. It's a 1,000 goldie going in for Inua, and he's actually going for a utility build. So he is probably going for, at this point, Stave of Sorceries. Could be maybe a little bit more magic damage, but he might go for the Frostscar Embrace as well.
Yeah, looks like the Tyrant going to be started here. Taken for free. Ray will take this one out, and Autobots roll out back into the mid lane here. Gen.G putting pressure on and taking things for free because they have all of this map control. Look at Rock in the top lane. ASD has to defend in this case, but the mid T1 now under siege. Ray and Inua still up in front. Glow just trying to throw out those scepters, slow it down. He's not going to step into the Wild Growth, but he needs to deal with those minions to, again, just protect this T1. Fate Rewind will do most of that and heal it back almost up to full.
Okay, this is a situation that has happened in the other leagues as well. And specifically for this one, this was the AG and Team Secret game, right? So AG was the one playing the Hano comp, and they held Team Secret to a very long P1 take. They didn't even manage to take it. They turned the whole game around from that particular moment. So this is exactly what SCARZ is trying to review as well.
Oh, the Fever Barrage finds Glow. No Fate Rewind this time. He's going to be picked off, and now this is a bit of an opening for SCARZ. You have no way to heal this T1 mid up. It looks like the top T2 is going to be their target. They've got 3 members pushing it on from the top side, and now Mfang looking to deal with the minions. SCARZ needs to stem the bleeding somehow.
Oh, this is not just bleeding, this is a full wound at this point, and right now, it's just map control for Gen.G. One more mistake by Glow like that, and I think Gen.G might be able to break into the base of SCARZ.
Yeah, I mean, at least the top T3 more than anything else. I think the mid, I mean, they have a long way to go. 3 towers is a tough ask, but ASD ensures that they get the blue buff, which is huge. He did smite that one out. The Shadow Tyrant now going to be gone on here by Gen.G, looking to force this back, but now with that destined encounter, they want to go for this, and Ray will pick this off. ASD dream roams back to safety. He's going to be chased. Ray is just trying to go in. They get the stomp off, they get the knock up, and ASD is down for the count. Tanky or not, you're going to eventually fall. Rock has been doing some serious damage. He goes over the wall with a roaming gun, but no minions, and now Gen.G are going to back off and regroup.
Yeah, Rock definitely hitting the mark at this point. And you know what? This T1 in the mid might not stand any longer. They actually force out the ultimates as well. And ASD, he has 10 seconds, but 10 seconds might be too long.
Might be too long. Oh, they got the knockup yet again, and Arashi's going to be killed. The Fate Rewind. Oh, Glow barely survives. ASD's going to be back up with a Fever Barrage. Oh, it's been stopped, and Rocket's picked off. Ochik finds him out, and now 4 members, Gen.G, if they want anything, they're going to at least take the Crimson Golem on their way out. They're going to be out. Glow still up in front, throwing out them Scepters.
Yep, they need to buy a little bit more time on the side of SCARZ. Right now, it's about damage limitation, right? So the healthy thing is, look, this is the comp, how it's supposed to happen. End of the day, T1 and mid still standing.
Yeah, just barely standing at this point. Glow, no Fate Rewind. Needs to be careful. Throwing out them Scepters. Needs to be more concerned about his positioning. The Dream Roam back by ASD. Rock is back up on the list if they want to go, but ASD at half at this point. Mid T1 is taking some damage as well. And now Gen.G trying to figure out how to crack open this puzzle, so to speak. They've done some damage on that T1, but with the Hey No Fate Rewind, it's kind of put in an awkward situation because most of it has been healed.
Yep, okay, but Rock, he does get a little bit more damage now. Shadow Reaper will be able to maximize the number of bullets coming out from his Resplendent Revolver. And right now, they don't know what's going on. This Shadow Overlord is going to go into the hands of Gen.G.
Yeah, SCARZ right now playing in the dark. They don't really have too much in terms of being able to provide that vision. ASD now being skirted away. Glow going over the wall. Does have the Fate Rewind if they want to go. Wow, looking for that perfect angle. And it looks like Arashi will join here. The Wild Growth will slow them down, though.
Yeah, it's not an ideal situation for the side of Gen.G, but, you know, it's complemented by the fact that they have the Shadow Overlord and the Vanguards marching down. How much structural damage can they actually do? That's the big question here.
Yeah, Glow uses his Fate Rewind. I think that might have been too early. Rock does end up taking the mid T1. Now the bottom one. This is the knockoff. They do have the damage. Arashi is going to be picked off out of position, not able to dash away, and Rock's still up in front. He's going to use that Resplendent Revolver to zone them away. They've taken the bottom T2. They do have the Shadow Vanguard consistently pushing with this. And Wawa still up on the side looking for that angle. The Wild Growth is zoning them away. They want the bottom T3. Glow does not have the Fate Rewind. This is a key opportunity for them to have kept it, but they don't have it. This is a bit of an opening now for Gen.G.
Yep, it's a tense moment for them. At this point, it is still 10 seconds for Arashi, and once again, 10 seconds counted.
The bottom T3 looking to go down. It does get picked off here. Gen.G now pushing it out. They've taken the first bottom T3. The top T3 looking to go down as well. And SCARZ right now, their base in ruins, struggling to figure out how to get on top of Rock, getting some sort of, kill, because again, he's doing all the damage.
Yep, and he's at the top. 10,000 gold, closing into 11. But the funny thing is, and the curious thing, is Enfeng is actually keeping pace with him on this Lady Sun. So we have to be very careful about the way that SCARZ takes up fights. Gen.G as well. At any moment of time, it could be turned over if Enfeng gets the perfect shots down.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough, even for that. I mean, there's no real chance to tumble Furball onto ASD. Oh, Fever Barrage connecting on a 3. ASD has gone down. He got completely blasted. ASD down for about 35 seconds, opening things up for even more for Gen.G.
Yep, that's a big win at this point. ASD down, that's a big tank gone, and now they can just go run rampant. Gen.G take the T3.
Take the top T3. Now they want this mid T3. Glow is just continuing to stick. He doesn't have the Fate Rewind. He has the Scepter back. The Leap of Fate that is, and it looks like the Destined counter gonna be off the mark. Mid T3. They've got super minions, and they Wawa going in for this one. And Arashi is down for the count, and they take the base, and Gen.G will take game 2.
Easy game for the side of Gen.G. It is all about them this game.
Yeah, it was all about this game at this point. I mean, Gen.G, we knew they were going to be able to strike back. They were going to be able to just find their way back in this one. But again, off the back of Rock, and the rest of the squad from Gen.G really able to kind of finding their groove. I mean, we knew this game was going to be a heavyweight fight, and they were trading blows for blows.
Yeah, they were. And at this point, I mean, the strategy was pretty clean from this side of SCARZ, but the execution wasn't as good, right? They couldn't hold on long enough. before they could really hit the power spikes. And while the farm was great on the side of Mfeng, they had no angle. There was no entry.
Yeah, no entry, no way to kind of, I mean, like, again, the net worth was neck and neck with Rock. Mfeng was finding ways to just farm, but like the opportunities that were going in, and again, look, I'm not a huge fan of the Charlotte, but it just felt like it was a little underwhelming, and it's not a tank, it's not really a damage dealer. I mean, like, Charlotte has amazing hair, if anything, that's the contribution. I don't really know to this draft. I'm not a huge fan of that hero, just in general, but I just felt like, you know, again, Arashi got cut out a couple too many times for my liking, and they were fighting 4 versus 5.
Yeah, I think that was the main difference maker, because Arashi was actually one of the win conditions to be able to jump onto the back lines. And the moment you have offense as your defense from the side of Gen.G, it's really difficult, because then Arashi is actually diving into a 5-man composition. He's not diving into the back line, because there is no back line. The back line is the front line.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking at this draft from Gen.G, it's like, how do you go into the wild growth? How do you deal with the Yuan? How do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different, like, sustaining frontliners that it was really difficult. I mean, they couldn't sustain themselves. SCARZ right now, I mean, the Haino, like, he was really struggling, and this is kind of why this hero has fallen off a bit. Because if you're in these long, drawn-out fights, it's like, yeah, you don't have an ult. It's like, what are you going to do? You're just pretty much a range minion at that point.
Yeah, but it's a painful one if you allow him to get in, right? So this is a recovery by Gen.G. We this as well. 1-1 right now between the two teams as we head into the next game of the series. But let's take a look at the items first. This game was just all about Rock. 12,000 gold in the pocket, and I mean, he went full on damage. He didn't even go with the extra protection. He knew that it was meant to be offense being the main defense here. When going for the Eternity Blade, he must have dealt a heck of a lot of damage. 102,000 worth of damage.
Yeah, he does so much damage. I mean, Rock just finds ways to just carry this team. I mean, he died once, to Ochik's credit, and that was the only death by the entire team. That's scary, right? By Gen.G. Everyone else surviving, being able to kite them out, keep them out of arm's reach, and the fact that Rocket only died once speaks volumes about this team. Really just starting to hit their groove. Again, this is what we wanted to see in this series, a very competitive one, and Gen.G strike back. Check out that gold graph going the entire way of Gen.G as they were in full control here.
Yeah, let's take a look at the MVP. I mean, it has to be Rock as well, right? So MVP of the game, it is going to be Rock. 4-1-1, 18% of damage taken only with the help of the shield. And with that, he is able to deal a total of 31% for the side of Gen.G.
But MVP, the only guy that died, really? No, I'm just kidding. He didn't make the game. I think that's too really fun. Again, this is the highlights of what happened here. We just saw Arashi just getting ganked a couple times, had a really tough time getting anything going because they forced it down. They were trying to make it super uncomfortable for him. They put a lot of pressure on, and Gen.G with those rotations really converted quite a bit. And basically, this is almost every single highlight where you see Gen.G just running at them, and then SCARZ just on the run.
Yep, they recognize the win condition, right? So end of the day, Rock was also placing very heavy emphasis onto Glow, but at the same time onto ASD as well. And his kit allowed for that because he deals percentage health damage with the shots from his Resplendent Revolver. And coming in with the stun, he was very confident about the ability of the team to back him up when he jumped in for the Fever Barrage. I think that's good trust in a team, and Gen.G definitely playing more as a unit this particular second game of this series. And if this continues, then I think SCARZ might find themselves in a very tight spot.
Yeah, it might be in a tough spot, really. I mean, Gen.G right now, with the way that they played in that last game, if they continue that on for the next two, this series might just be over, right? SCARZ really didn't have an answer. They had no way to get back in. It was completely different from what we saw in game one, where it was really back and forth, and they were giving like opportunities for the other team to kind of get back in. There were really no opportunities in that last game. Gen.G really closed it out.
Okay, but with that being said, we will go for a short break. When we're back, we bring you game number 3 of this best of 5.
All it was in this world. 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 the sound of the rain. No matter how I feed the flame, you know I feel the darkness and the pain. All of the ways we tried to break free from the night, you know we made it out, we found the light. I fly so high, light up the skyline. Let's do it this time, like it's a whole new vibrant world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Now I see that I got everything I need. It's alright, I'm on fire, I'm alive, 'cause now I fly so high, light up the skyline. Let's do it this time, like it's a whole new colorful world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world. Never thought we'd get this far, burning like the stars. How we get this far, like we're the only ones in this world. Like we're the only ones in this world.
Welcome back. It is time for the third game in the series here. Gen.G and SCARZ looking to have that advantage in this best of 5. First one to reach 3 will win. Let's see who gets that done first.
Look, let's look at things as like a best of 3. I don't think we need to go crazy at this point. I think that the teams have really, put their like really 2 good games ahead of them. The last game looked impressive by Gen.G, right? SCARZ right now need to figure out a way to crack the code that is Rock, figure out a way to get onto him, but at the same time, Gen.G right now really starting to play well together. This is a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, and look, Marco is not like a super top tier pick, so there is still plenty of firepower available in the Gen.G lineup, and I think that might be a cause of concern for the side of SCARZ.
Yeah. I'm more worried about SCARZ at this case for game 3 going into this one, because again, it seemed like they didn't really have any answers. I mean, they were trying to do what they traditionally do, right? Mfang was still able to get farm, ASD was definitely contributing in his own way, but it just seemed like the hero picks were not really able to do what they were drafted to do. They were basically playing Gen.G's game.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at this stage of the game, you don't want to allow others to influence your gameplay. You want to play your own game, or you want to force them into your style of play. So great job so far by Gen.G for that recovery. But of course, we don't count SCARZ out. Let's see what these guys can do.
Yeah, and I think that it's going to come back to the draft for me, for SCARZ, right? Again, composure. Look at this as like a best of 3 with some of these heroes that are already been banned and can't be picked. Let's not worry too much about it. I think that they're both in a good position to take out this series. Again, this is the barn burner. This is the fight that we knew it was going to be. It was going to be tough going in to see who was going to be the 2nd or 3rd seed going into Group S here. And I think Gen.G and SCARZ are more than capable, and both of these teams are going to really want this 2nd seed.
Now, Gen.G seemed really concerned about the lone pick, so they will ban it out for the first phase. And SCARZ going to reply with the Ming as well. Something's up in their scrims. They have definitely scrimmed against each other. A composition has been played that destroyed both sides. I need to know what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, look, we know that Clue plays the Ming. I mean, he's one of the only players that has been playing the Ming just because like almost all of the heroes that he plays is like a latch on, like the Verdant Protector, what we saw with the Yarya in the last game, or the Ming, which, you know, it has that sort of, you know, that buddy system of just kind of accelerating what Rock wants to bring to the table. So being able to kind of enhance his abilities has been key. And it seems like SCARZ are like arrowing in on that, being like, hey, we're going to limit this as much as possible, at least by attacking the roamers here.
Yeah, but now you have the Wawa Dharma. That is something that we all love to see. Regardless of whether you're a Gen.G fan or not, you can definitely appreciate a great Truth Mantra.
Yeah, if he's able to set it up, I mean, get that in. But Gen.G now, Ogren, the pick is going to be there. I mean, look, SCARZ, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond to that. Do they go with the Agudo pick themselves, but they're going to go with the Yixing as well? Nice little combination. I like it.
Yeah, they're going all in. This game, Gen.G, they are looking to win. SCARZ, it's more damage limitation at this point, right? Gen.G, Lianpo, and Mayin, they have decent control, right? They have the Get Serious, and Lianpo itself, as Ochik's probable role, he's going to be looking to try and force out errors on the side of Gen.G.
Yeah, but like now it's going to be the point where SCARZ obviously banning out and attacking Rock as much as possible. They don't have a farm limit. Arlie is a perfect pick for that. What else are you looking to just kind of restrict on the Rock side? Because I think for SCARZ, both of your bans should be attacking Rock.
I think, you know what? You can take a risk. Go for the whole E, right? Play the setup from far. Hope that your Burning Sun arrows land. Okay, maybe not hope, but plan for your Burning Sun arrows to land, and then it's just a whirlwind of destruction coming in from Gen.G.
Yeah, if you're able to hit. I mean, look, I don't like that 100. I'm not a huge fan of Hou Yi. Obviously, the Burning Sun arrow, but it's one of those things where it's like you get the stun, but you might be further away than you really like to be. And I think Rock wants to be the type where if he gets the stun, he wants to be in position to just kind of get that kill. And it looks like they're going to save Rock's pick for last. But the Nongshim, this is interesting. There's no way, right?
Never say never. This is Gen.G we're talking about. Do they really pull out the Nongshim here?
And the Liu Bang. Look, that would be interesting. It's the it's the caveman approach, dare I say. You know, in the sense that it's like all melee guys just running at you. They're going to have the Yixing to kind of set things up. I mean, if he has the perfect board and then you just have 4 melee guys just run in, potential damage? Yes. But it looks like
they're cooking.
Wow. They're going to really with the Agudo. But the Agudo, I like this pick as the last pick, though.
Okay, I mean, you're meant to deal with the Ogren, that's fine. But your Princess Frost, Glow, he's dead. There's no way you handle a Nongshim easily.
Yeah. I think that this is going to be very. Oh no, they're not actually going to commit for that one. They're potentially picking other like the Jing. I don't know how I feel about the Jing pick.
I love this.
Okay.
This is a bloodbath battle. I love this game already. Like we haven't even seen what's going on. It's just kills everywhere. Either it's gonna be like 30-40 kills in this game, or it's gonna be like, no, it cannot be. It has to be 30-40 kills this game. This is a high kill game.
So okay, all right, my thought process in the Jing, especially last, obviously you have a lot of mobility and you have ways to kind of like the squad from Gen.G are generally going to be deathballing together, right? So you have the Jing with that mirror domain, the Shattered Illusions doing a whole bunch of damage, but is that enough to deal with essentially 4 melee heroes that are just like running at you?
I think the burst potential of the Jing is pretty scary, right? But you know, in order for that to be maximized, you have to get every single melee hero in your mirror domain in the middle and allow you to continually swipe left and right. I think that's a tough situation to ask for.
No, but okay, look, the wombo combo potential is there. Like you have the winners here, you have Jing with the mirror domain, you have the Tremor Smash, you have the whatevers from the Mayin, and like the Gen.G on just like cleanup. Like I see potentially how this draft could work, but when you have like and melee heroes, then when they're running at you, they're a little bit more predictable. They're definitely more linear in that sense. But this Nongshim pick kind of chooses his own battles. The angles are going to be different. And the fact that Rock is on it, I mean, he could do some crazy stuff with his Nongshim pick.
Look, they have multiple angles of entry. You have an Ogren, he has the path of passing. Wawa, obviously, you know, formlessness, he has the truth mantra. So many things he can use to enter the fight. He has flash as well. Rock is just Rock. And Clue's not even going to be in the fight. He's going to be split pushing or somewhere else, and he's going to come in last minute, change the whole fight from there.
Yeah, and also look at the fact that Rock is the one with Smite, meaning that he will be the one jungling. He will be going across the map. And obviously, they're going to try to funnel as much farm to him as possible, especially since you've got, you know, Ray in the top lane, just dealing with ASD. They've done lane swaps, they've done role swaps, they've done everything at this point.
I mean, if you're going to do something, just go all in. I think this is the Gen.G mindset, and I love it, right? So it is a formula that could potentially fail very horribly, but let's see.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to see how this goes. I mean, I think the game 3 is perfect because it's not an elimination game, and you're trying something out like this that's like definitely going to be completely different. I mean, if like as you were saying, if it fails miserably. But if it works, we're just gonna be like, oh, this is brilliant, right?
Yeah, this game potentially could be just a full highlight clip.
Yeah, just the people just killing each other, just running at each other, doing so much damage. But I think it really comes back to this Mfang for me. This Jing, is he able to kind of get that farm so that he can deal with, you know, the 4 melee heroes that are running at you? And mind you, one of them is an Ogren, so not the easiest of takedowns.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And also, I think my eyes are pretty much on Inua here. If he lands a great board, Gen.G should win that fight every single time.
Yeah, ideally. I mean, it really comes back to him. I mean, he's been on point throughout, especially in the ranking week. His boards have been amazing and being able to go in. But Ray going in gets the Death's Precipice. ASD has to flash away. The burst ran from Ochik, and it's going to be the end of that assault.
Yeah, and this is like a tease from both teams, right? You know they won't overcommit at this point. They will only start fighting and really going all in when they feel like they have the advantage, either in farm, either in itemization, or maybe someone is just out of position, they have more members. So this is going to be a real calm before the storm.
Yeah, and if we're looking at this one, I mean, at what point are you kind of like, hey, I think that we've got enough farm, we can go, right? Because the farming in the different lanes is not going to be the most conventional from Gen.G. It's going to be a little bit different for them, so their timings are going to be different as well.
I think it's going to come down to the mid laners, right? Frozen Breath, for both of them, that will be a big marker, because then you kind of limit the escape options on both sides. And then, yeah, who can land the ultimate first? That's the proper initiation anyway.
Okay. And as SCARZ though, are you looking to kind of, you know what I mean? Like, are you just looking to play standard, just kind of slow things down? Like, what is the play style here going up against a 4 melee lineup?
I mean, they have certain options, right? So you can either initiate with Ochik, he's going to be the frontliner, he's going to dive in with the Tremor Smash as well, which sets up the freeze coming in from Glow, or maybe even the stun coming in from ASD as well. So that's one potential angle. It could also be Mfang jumping in, straight burst, mirror domain, get with the slices as well. But it's a risk.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk. And they're going to go find ASD. He's been locked in. The Conductor of Souls is going to be committed as well, and they get first blood. And the Tremor Smash in return. They want to get Clue. He actually is going to out-heal this one, and he will be fine. And Gen.G finding that pickoff.
Okay, so that's a great start, but it also is about the conversion.
Oh, Wawa. He's got him with the truth. Arashi now on the run. Wawa completely outclassing Arashi at this stage, and Arashi has to limp away. And it looks like Gen.G are finding ways. I mean, this melee lineup, kind of definitely not a traditional lineup. It's something very different. Rock is looking to take the Tyrant, smites it out for good measure, and through it all, Gen.G up about 500 gold.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pleasure to watch Gen.G, but it's also a pleasure to watch SCARZ. So two of the most entertaining teams, and this is the most unorthodox gameplay I've ever seen. So Gen.G, I mean, they're doing well so far. I want to see what else they can bring to the table.
Look, I love the fact that Rock is just like, look, I'm going to be a farm, you know, I'm going to be a jungle this time. It's like, but yeah, we don't have a farm laner, we don't have a carry, we don't have a, it's like, we don't need that. I'm a jungler. I told you, we got this, right? And so you just like find your own farm across the map. You might just stay in the lane, but we'll figure it out, right? Like this is like Gen.G are totally cool with just throwing, you know, caution out the window. Oh, they're gonna go in. Wawa hits him with the truth. Nice catch. They found Glow sticking around, and they're making him pay.
Blue team has destroyed a
Yeah,
tower.
look, so Glow is gonna have a very horrendous game for SCARZ. I think it's a very clear-cut message and a very clear-cut vision you will see. Gen.G, everyone is itemized and optimized against Glow.
Yeah, and they found Ochik, burst ram away. I mean, Glow needs to be like, dare I say, if they're fighting at the tier 3, he needs to be in the fountain. Like, I think that's the only safe spot. And then like the fight happens, and then he comes in with like the frigid prison. Winter is here. Like, he's got to be like the last wave of, you know, initiation to get himself, you know, at least the spells off at least once.
Yeah, look, Glow has either he has to be a fortune teller at this point, because he's gonna need to know when exactly they're gonna jump in, and he's gonna need to prep his frigid prison like 1 second before that jump comes in.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you just like the entire time you just had the frigid prison like set on yourself, right? Like if you know you get to, you just drop it on yourself to give yourself a chance to get on out of there, right? And then you have your flash to potentially escape, because they're going to be targeting you. You're definitely squishy. You're going to have a hard time, but I think that Glow needs to again just stay alive. He needs to be the 3rd or 4th wave into a team fight.
Yeah, definitely. If he's the last one to engage in a fight, then I think it could very well go in favor of SCARZ in the team fights as well, especially if he gets a couple of targets with the frigid prison into the Winter is here as well.
I mean, don't you think that if he gets that perfect frigid prison with Winter's here, like it's like team fight game winning almost, right? Because again, they're melee, they're going to be grouped, they're going to be sticking up, they want to go for you, so you're definitely going to be within range. So I think it's going to be even more pressure on Glow to perform and to ensure that he gets those spells off.
Hands down, that's definitely one of the win conditions. If Glow gets the setup he's looking for, Gen.G is done for. That fight should be over in a couple of seconds.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's not about him getting as much farm. I think it's more of just like staying alive more than anything else. Like, again, Rock, I think that this is the guy that you got to watch out for. Mfeng doing a good job of keeping on pace. It seems like Mfeng is just like, hey, whatever Rock does, I'm going to do. Like, if Rock is like, I'm going to be a jungle, Mfeng's like, okay, I need to be a jungle this game. Like, they're like matching each other neck and neck at this point.
Taking mirror domain to a different kind of understanding here, actually mirroring the moves as well. And so far, I think Gen.G, they're doing well against SCARZ. You know what? It's 1 turret apiece. And right now, it's a complete stalemate. We know this. It's less than 1,000 gold that sets both teams apart. And right now, the only thing that has changed is the fact that Wawa is not getting any freebies anymore.
Yeah, he's not getting free. I mean, look, SCARZ are doing a good job. Look at Ochik all the way up in front. He is the forward scout. He's like, okay, you want to go? All right, I'm going to scout you out. I'm tanky enough to take whatever you're going to go. Wawa definitely doesn't want to go against it. So, you know, Ochik, it's more of Ochik's play and the way his positioning has been. But now, the board is going to connect. They've got 3. The Conductor of Souls, ASD, trying to get on out of this one. But it looks like Ray is going to be turned around, and Mfeng gets the pick off. They have the Miro domain, and the engagement was on. Gen.G, Rock wasn't even there.
Has destroyed a tower.
That's what I'm talking about, right? So it's all about this. It's back and forth. Both junglers have the absolute authority and power to burst anyone down.
But look, I think that Gen.G, if you want to take a fight, you got to make sure Rock is within the same zip code. And it looks like they found Mfeng. He's trying to dash away the mirror domain. Can he go left? Can he go right? No, but Rock will take him down, slicing him down. And now this is going to be a potential pick into the Tyrant here. The world is my board is going to be a little off the mark, but nonetheless, with this opening, it looks like they want to go. Arashi looking to go for the steal, but Rock takes the Tyrant. Rock will limp away. Arashi trying to chase him down. Rock dashes away yet again, and Arashi cannot get the pick. He wants to go. He's trying to cut off the retreat. Rock will be fine. He goes in, and he just barely dodges the Venn diagram, but he's going to be picked off. Inua finds him out. 2 members down from SCARZ.
Yeah, SCARZ, they're not in a position to be in the runaway situation, right? They struggle to get away at this point, and Gen.G, they're making full use of the fact Ray is just being super aggressive, and here we go.
Oh, they got the aggressive. They got to go with the battlefield command. They found M-Fang, not able to stay alive. They had 3 members in a heartbeat because they had the vision. Rock was there, and then the battlefield command from Clue. Winter is here on the minions trying to slow things down. Gen.G finding their footing as they're up about 3K.
They defend that T1, but they're losing this Crimson buff all the way. It goes into the hands of Rock once again. And look, if this continues, SCARZ is going to run out of options for defense. They will not have any more turrets to play around with.
Look at Rock, highest net worth. He had about 8K. You know, he's just completely outclassing everybody. He's finding farm across the map. Look at, he's soloing the Tyrant at this stage. I mean, picking things off, and now it looks like he wants to engage at this point. He's found Ochik. They have the stomp up. The truth on this one, but not going to be enough to get the pick on this. Not enough damage as of yet. Wawa, sorry, he did save the truth.
So how long are they going to hold on? That's the question here on the side of SCARZ, right? And look, they have been more successful on the side of Gen.G in opening up these setups to allow the heroes like Rock as well as Ray and Wawa. Oh, hang on.
Oh, Ochik. He's got the burst ram. They want to turn around. M-Fang is now going to make an appearance here, but he's at half-life. He needs to be careful. He's trying to dodge this definitely, and he goes down. Ray finds him out, gets the pick off. Not enough damage and to ward through these 4-man melee squad that's running at you. And now Gen.G find yet another. Arashi is down for the count. They're just looking to dive the T1, and Rock gets the pick off, and he gets himself out of there. They take the T1, and Gen.G are doing it.
Inuwa doesn't even die. He made full use of his passive, committed the flash as well. And right now, gold chart, like you said, Rock is just killing it. He is at 10,000 gold. He's close to 2,000 gold ahead of his competition. And right now, this is just the beginning of the end for SCARZ.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle for SCARZ to find a way to get back in. But look, everybody's so scary. Like, who do you go on? Everybody's tanky. Everybody's doing a bunch of damage. They're able to just, like, stun lock you. It is a tough situation. This is a crazy draft by Gen.G. I love the timing of when they reveal this, especially in this pivotal Game 3 here.
Yes, because every time our OB turns the Rock, he's doing a new objective. It's from the Tyrant to the buff to the Overlord. It feels like, hey, the perks are free and they're all over the map.
I mean, he's taking everything. He's just so fast that he's able to farm. I mean, if we check at the net worth, he's definitely the highest. He's been all over the place, taking everything from SCARZ. They have scraps. And mind you, it's all because of Rock moving from place to place. I think that this is going to be not only a great game for Rock, but we're going to probably see Hanshin a lot more, especially in the KME here.
Yep, he should be at 11,000 at this point, right? So I think at this point, okay, he's gonna try again.
That's 3-man stun. The battlefield command and ASD gets deleted. No chance. The winner is here, trying to lock in onto him, and they have at least Arashi trying to go. Ray takes out Ochik. Rock over the wall, chasing it back. The flash away by Arashi, but he gets picked off. Not able to get away from Clue. They've turned this around, and M-Fang trying to fight 1 versus 4. He's got the mirror domain. He's doing some serious damage, but he goes down as well. Rock that is, and M-Fang turning it around with that double. But 3 members are crashing into the mid T3, taking that down with that Vanguard. M-Fang needs to hold in some way, but he's looking to split the minions. Oh no, my board, the dash away. He's gonna walk under this one. Now the crystal, M-Fang must hold in some way. The crystal at half-life. Inuwa gets killed. With a triple, M-Fang somehow takes it down 1 versus 3 and wins out.
Blue team.
They hold. I don't know how they did it, but they hold. M-Fang, oh my goodness, this guy, he came with a vengeance. Now, it's half the kills, 12-6, but SCARZ, they survived. They have about 19 seconds to deal as much damage as possible. It was a great start. The ultimates were all committed. Battlefield Command, winner is here. Every resource was exhausted, and it felt like SCARZ, this was the game for them. It was going to be over, but M-Fang, he would not relent. He held on.
I mean, look at this beard domain. It was perfect. Just dancing around. Everybody's so low, and he's able to get a while, like somehow survives, and he gets the pick off here, and then 3 members, and with that Shattered Illusion, picking those 3 members off like they were all sticking together. Now Arashi solo, Rock looking to chase after him, but they do have the lock-in, and it looks like Rock and Inuwa, both of them are down. Now SCARZ are finding ways to get back in. Mind you, they don't have a T3, so whatever push they do, they need to ensure that it makes a statement and they're able to kind of shift the game over.
peak entertainment. This is why I love to watch both teams, but this is even better to watch them compete against each other. We have the weirdest draft ever, but this is the best gameplay.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like the T1 will be taken out. That's going to be slow rolling up this hill. It's going to take some time. Mfeng is in the top lane looking to defend, at least protect that one. Arashi in the bottom. They take the mid T2. At this point, they have a bit of an opening. Mind you, Inua and Rock up in 3 seconds. Probably now is a good time to retreat.
They did their best. This was the best they could do with the time that they bought for themselves. 12-8. They have taken down the T1 across the board. Have they taken the T2 in the mid? I think they have, right? So T2 in the mid taken down as well. Now, this next fight is going to be critical because the death timers are getting long.
Yeah, but with those super minions pushing, it's going to be tough, right? You have to do the housekeeping. You got to ensure that those lanes have been fixed. I mean, the bottom lane is already a little bit of a risk. Arashi needs to make a beeline here, but now with the Overlord, this is only 15 minutes. SCARZ needs to hold out, get the game. Oh, looks like they want to go. Arashi finds it. Clue. Mfeng all the way. Finds Wawa. Looks like they're going to get the pick off, and Mfeng goes legendary. He's going to have to back off. He needs to stay alive, but he's being chased around. They really want him, and Mfeng dashing in and out. He's going to be down for life number 1. The winner is here. The Tremors smash, and Mfeng somehow surviving. He needs to survive. Ray uses the Conductor of Souls onto ASD, not able to get the pick off here. And now Wawa trying to fight SCARZ. Very low. Rock decides to maybe go in. He scared me for a bit. I thought he was going to go, but it looks like only Wawa's the one that falls.
Okay, once everything settles, once the dust settles, it is still so pressurizing for the side of SCARZ because the wave clear on the side of Gen.G is actually still pretty significant. They have the Death Precipice, they have the Taking Liberties, they have the Sliding Stones, and even with Rock, right? Ruthless Assault, they have the Unrivaled Spear, very short cooldowns, and even Clue, Dominator's Shield. There's so much clear potential.
Oh, he's going to go golden. He's going to use the Battlefield Command Ochik, trying to just protect his buddy, but he's stuck in the board. Rock is just dancing, playing with his food, the Taking Liberties bouncing around. Ochik, he's been on this roller coaster. He does not like it.
This is a match where all your ultimates matter. Wawa getting called out again, but I don't think there's enough damage. And you know what? At this point, Gen.G, they're taking the Shadow Overlord, and there's absolutely nothing that SCARZ can do about it.
Yeah, nothing they could do. I mean, they knew exactly that it was going to be taken here but the lanes are pushing throughout. Mfeng right now, that bottom lane is looking to be a little bit on the darker end. And like SCARZ, they really have to just defend the base, hold. Now, if they're able to somehow survive this, especially with Vanguards pushing, this is going to be a tall task for SCARZ now.
3 minutes. That's the countdown timer right now, 2.5 for the side of SCARZ. If they can even last to try and take a win with the Tempest Dragon, this has to be the cleanest thing that's available for them. If they can do it, I mean, SCARZ, massive respect, because this is a tough composition to fight against, and Gen.G, they're making every second count.
Yeah, making every second count. And I mean, they're playing this one amazingly, right? Gen.G, that is. They're just really putting the initiative on. But one thing to note is that Gen.G, the reason why they haven't really been able to do well in those team fights as of late is because Rock hasn't really been there. They've been trying to fight these things 4 versus 5. Yes, they have the lead, but now they're continuing on. Oh, they found low. They get the pick off. The board has already been laid out. ASD now running for his life, being chased by Ray. Mfeng solo. He does have the shields. He's going to abort his own mirror domain. They have the Conductor of Souls, and that's going to be enough. They have the execution, and now Rock in the base. They have the Vanguard, and this could be one push. Ochik looking to just hold, somehow deal with the Vanguard, but he's being bashed around. The Vanguard from the top lane, and the base is under attack. Ochik just trying to deal with it. He doesn't really have the damage. He's survivable, but he's eventually going to be picked off. Rock ends up getting the kill, and now Mfeng trying to go for this one. That's going to be life number 1, but I think it's going to be too little too late at this point, and Inua will pick him down, and they will take the base, and Gen.G, off a crazy draft, take game 3.
What a game! I mean, I would have it no other way. What a way to win it, and what a draft to do it with. Look at what this means. Gen.G, my goodness. I mean, this is what we want. Creativity, execution, clean, everything you want in a series, and this is just one game.
Yeah, I think SCARZ is just like at the end of the game, they're like, what just happened? Like that was the craziest draft. And like to go into this one, I mean, it went the distance, so to speak. I mean, there was no Tempest Dragon, but man, SCARZ really fought back. They had opportunities to get in, but Rock was just too far ahead, tough to deal with. And Mfeng was trying his darndest to kind of deal with this. But man, once he got focused, it was a tall order for him.
Yeah, it felt like they were in a hospital bed, right? They woke up and like, what's happening? I'm not sure. I just know that Rock was all over the place. And look, SCARZ, you have to give them credit because they did make a couple of big saves. Ochik did his best at that last defense. And of course, Mfeng as well with the initial crazy triple kill defense. I mean, this game was just going back and forth. And here's what's crazy. At every single moment, if SCARZ had won a team fight, they would have easily run rampant down the middle lane or any open lane and took the game.
Yeah. I mean, but the lead was just so far in Gen.G's favor, right? Rock was so far ahead. Everyone else was like, I mean, yeah, you took like the the T2 and the T1 mid, off that team fight, which is great, but it's still, you have so many, like you have to win another team fight, like potentially 2 more to win the game. It's a tall order for this team, right? And to find Rock, and the fact that he was so mobile, he was constantly farming throughout the map. I mean, his net worth was insane at this point.
Yeah, look, I think one of the main things we need to look at is Glow. I feel so sad for Glow because I have been in that position. Okay, it's a ranked game, but look, it's the result is the same, the feeling is the same. You feel absolutely lost. Glow, he did his best, but what do you do against a Han Xing? Every time you have landed your Frigid Prison, all he needs to do is to open up that unrivaled spear. This guy was just all over the place. Sage's Sanctuary in check. Siege Breaker, full itemization, 15,000 gold.
I mean, if you're looking at this, also ASD and Glow just really struggled to get going. I mean, they both had 0 kills. They really couldn't get any. I mean, ASD did a lot of damage, but he would just get deleted, right? Because this lineup is running at you. The caveman strat works, right? Just going into this one, especially if you're going to be on the squishier side, you have no way. I mean, Ochik did whatever he could, but look at this gold grab. Gen.G with this swing up and down, and actually there was a point where SCARZ were winning, able to come back, but Gen.G finally able to close that game out. What a great game.
Yeah, it came from that triple kill, right? It was that last-ditch defense coming in from the side of SCARZ that really made the difference. And Feng are responsible for that big drop in gold. But end of the day, if ASD and Glow can't do their jobs, then, it's going to be a very tough life. But MVP, let's take a look at who it is. It is always going to be Rock. 4, 2, and 10. 30% of the total hero damage offered by the team on Gen.G.
Yeah, respect. I mean, Rock was on points. I mean, look at the number of objectives that he, like the neutrals, the farm, all throughout, just everything. Like, it was so perfectly done. And look, Gen.G, when they get him going, they have that, they're like, they can continue to fight. And they were trying to take some fights 4 versus 5, not the greatest, but they knew that at one point, when they actually go for these 5-man death ball lineups, I mean, Rock is gonna get the pickoffs. Look at this 3-man stun, it was perfect. Battlefield Command all the way up in front, and this is that turnaround where you're like, hey, the game is over, but Mfeng was like, not just yet.
Yeah, it was so difficult to stomach, right, for the side of SCARZ, because look, Gen.G, they knew that this win was coming regardless. All they needed to do this was to force the waves into it. But Mfeng said, no, you're going to have to hang on a little bit longer because we still want to fight. And boy, did they fight it out. The triple kill pushed the game for that much longer. And for a moment, there was a time where I think Rock overcommitted. It was a bit scary for the side of Gen.G.
Moments, for sure. And there's a reason why SCARZ were able to come back into this game. But look, it really comes back to just like how Mfeng was doing, right? When the fights were happening, if Glow and ASD were just instantly deleted, like in some of the fights here, I mean, Glow, gone, right? And now you're fighting 4 versus 5. This is a almost unwinnable fight. But Mfeng doing what he could, and then he was just kind of dragging them away, just barely getting out, somehow surviving. But through it all, I mean, Ochik, yeah, he was tanky, trying to fight this 1 versus 4. Impossible by Mfeng here. Really tough game by SCARZ.
Yep. So, I mean, we were talking about the Hanxing, but that was not the main problem. The main problem was also because Ray was on the Allgren. So, if you get out of Rock's way, you still had Ray who was chasing you down. And he was like a ray of light. But of course, this ray of light seems to be dimming, but it is not the end. We're going to go for a short break. When we're back, let's see what happens in game number 4.
What's a life without its worth? Compromising with what hurts inside. When you let fear decide your fate, you don't choose which path to take in life. In life, I'm finally letting go of everything that still holds me. I'm against all odds, but I won't give up, 'cause it's my time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, and no one let me down. Destiny is calling high. I'm not afraid to fight for everything I love. Victory's on my side. The more we lose, the more we gain. The more that nothing stays the same. In time, in time. Can't love ever, can't forget. What you see is what you get. Sometimes, gonna show the world tonight. The light that shines inside us. We're against the odds, but we won't give up, 'cause it's our time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, can no one back us down. Destiny is calling high in light. We're not afraid to fight for everything we love. Victory's on our side. Takiki takiki takitao. Takiki takiki takitao. Takiki takiki takitao. Takiki takiki takitao. Everything still holds us. 'Cause it's our time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, can no one back us down. Destiny is calling high in light. We're not afraid to fight for everything we love. Victory's on our side. It's our time to shine. High in
Welcome back. That was the most exciting game ever by SCARZ and Gen.G. It was so fun to watch, so fun to cast, and we are now at the cusp of a Gen.G victory against SCARZ. My name is Kendofu, and with me is Holler.
Yeah, look, that game, phenomenal, right? And just kind of keep everyone up to speed. What was that draft? If we're looking at it, it was like, dare I say, the caveman strat. I mean, you have Dharma, Hanxin, Yijing, Ogren, of course, Liu Bang. There's 4 melee guys just running at you. SCARZ really had no answers.
Yep, the Hooga Hooga strat. I'm gonna name it that. It was just crazy. And now, SCARZ, you can feel that that was a tough pill to swallow. Gen.G actually fired up by that performance. Right now, Gen.G going to go for the blue side. They're gonna try and kill this series off as they go for that prio pick.
Look, if that's how Gen.G want to draft, they should continue that, because it's not only just completely non-conventional, but it's catching people off guard, and I love it. This is the perfect time to experiment, especially going into these Survivor week.
Yep. You know what? Right now, it's not just SCARZ I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about, okay, Nongshim, as they watch this game, how do they prepare for this? They're like, no, you know what? We have to ban the Ogren. No, we also have to ban the Hanxing. What do you do in a draft against Gen.G?
Yeah, and that's the brilliance of it, right? Just the draft kind of really catching people off guard. And to be honest, I kind of feel like even moving forward, that sort of play style, like it just totally works for this team because Rock is able to get farm. Again, this game back, they're going to see that like, hey, we need to not, I mean, the draft is going to be whatever it is. There's no way to predict something like this, but it's more of like the play style of just trying to restrict Rock as much as possible, especially when he decides to go as the jungle.
And the bans you can see from Gen.G are very different. Now the way that I see Gen.G's bans is not, hey, the team wants to use this, it's a good pick. It's, this destroys our composition. We want to play our game, do not destroy our game.
Yeah, it's super smart, right? And I mean, going into this one, I think it's going to be even more interesting to see exactly what do they have. I mean, they can go standard, they can go off, a non-conventional. They have a lot of options, and to be honest, that's what you need, especially when it goes to like a 5-game series or even 7-game series in the potential future.
Yeah, and at this point, look, it's a lot of beat-down potential again from the side of Gen.G. They're going for a Dianwei, going for a gun and more. So huge burst, but even more insane is the chase down. With set sail, with Dianwei as well, it's so scary to deal. And if you ever give Gen.G a lead in this particular match, you know SCARZ is going to suffer.
Okay. Yep. Speaking of suffering, I'm starting to suffer. My 0 and I believe 6 at this stage has not found a single win, and it looks like they're going to give it to Glow more than anything else. Kind of set things up, right? Dealing with the Gon and Mo, not the easiest of matchups, especially since you need to dodge and elude those daggers. You might have a tough time. So it's going to really put a lot of more potential. I think that he was just like so frustrated last game. He's just like, give me something that I can shine on. Let me go, coach.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a different stance. I think actually Mai does do well against Agan and Mo because her mobility is insane. And unless Inua is a tracking god, I think this should go in favor of Glow in the lane. But of course, with the roamers being picked up, that is going to change a lot of the angles in which the fights will be taken. Now, SCARZ, they don't want to deal with all those disruptions. They take away the Da Xiao, they take away the burst potential of the Lady Sun as well. These are all heroes that will burst SCARZ pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could talk about lane matchups all you want, and I totally understand that. But I'm looking at the data here, right? Mai is 0 and 7. Byron is 2 and 13 with a 13% win rate. These are not, I mean, they're hotly contested heroes, don't get me wrong, but they don't really win. Like, teams have found ways to deal with them and to kind of manage what they bring to the table. And that's what worries me here.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, I think Gen.G, if they can pick up a self-sufficient farm lane, I think it will be great. And at this point, I think burst damage works wonders for them. Maybe they can consider, okay, yeah, the RD is great in this matchup. It does have the ability to melt people down in the late game. And finally, today, we get our first potential Liang.
Okay, Liang is going to be great. Lock him down. I mean, pick your poison, right? Who do you want to lock out? Chano, Mai, Secure, all of these are great targets. I mean, obviously not as much the Secure, but just kind of control you, right? Like, and this is all you really need is that split second of control where the Arlie, Gon, and Mo, you got your blades, boom, blow them up. You got Sun Tzu going in with that boat, boom, blow them up. Like, there's so many different options that they can have. SCARZ really need to beef it up, and they decide to go with the Kaiser here. Great last pick for them.
Okay, so I would have preferred if SCARZ goes for the Assassin jungle because, look, there is a potential of a really quick kill onto people like Clue, people like Rock, and even Inua as well. Of course, with that, the backup coming for the SCARZ lineup can definitely be enough to deal with Ray and Wawa, but it looks like, look, they don't want to risk this because it is the potential final game for Gen.G. I'm excited where this game is going to go. Let's see if they can do it. ASD this time taking up the mantle of the jungle again, Amfang going to go into the farm lane.
Yeah, I want to kind of go on to that Kaiser topic. I mean, I know you're not a huge fan, as you just said, but like if they were to go with the assassin style jungler, isn't that kind of disconcerting going up against the Liang, who has that control, that lockdown, right? And then plus that boat coming in secondary, like it's definitely more high risk, and you don't really have somebody who can kind of protect the backline. You're definitely squishy on the SCARZ lineup without the Kaiser.
offense is the best defense. You have people like Sakir, you have people like Byron. These are all people who can set you up with very nice knockups, and also with Mai, right? Your two favorite things. At this point, it's going to be a disaster if they don't know how to deal with the knockups and CC coming in from SCARZ.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of potential for that play. I mean, to go in. Look, this is the glow show for me, right? There's going to be so much pressure on him to perform to get himself in, because if he falls off or he just goes even, the team will just crumble. There's a lot on for him to perform in this game, and I expect a big bounce back game by Glow in this one.
Yep. So pressure creates diamonds. Will SCARZ become a diamond in the rough against Gen.G, who are looking to end this series with form and power coming in? There is a lot of damage on the side of Gen.G.
I think overall, though, you're looking at the Gen.G lineup and you're kind of thinking this is probably a little bit more of a standard build. It's probably easier to play, dare I say. Your thoughts?
I think it requires a little bit more mechanical execution on the side of SCARZ for sure. It's a Mai, right? You need to know your positioning really well. But at the same time, they do have the sustenance, and they can actually offer quite a bit of damage if they can get the itemization advantage.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely going to help here. But I do like this rock into Mfang. I think that he has definitely some options. The Parasail will definitely help in terms of some of that onslaught damage that the Chano brings to the table. But again, it's interesting. Again, Rock is like, I'm a farm laner. And Mfang's like, all right, whatever Rock is, I also will be a farm laner. Like, he's just copying him.
Yeah. So at this point, I think right now both teams are looking for advantages, and Gen.G has identified that it's better to shut down the Byron. They want to shut Arashi down, but on the mid lane is the prio for the side of SCARZ, as Rock goes in this 1v1 skill matchup against Feng, Mfang, and it looks like he is triumphing. Inua, maybe first blood.
Oh, Inua goes to the blades, gets the slice down. Inua with a perfect couple blades, and Rock was just baiting him out.
Yep. Cut through like butter, and this is a good start for the side of Gen.G. You can definitely expect that they are a little bit more composed at this point.
Yeah, they've got the barrier. Definitely more composed in this case. Oh, the set sail not going to connect. Wow, buddy, I've done that too. Just running into walls. Oh, man, it's embarrassing.
But right now, it's all okay for the side of Gen.G, right? They did get the first blood. It's not the biggest of advantages. So it's close to, what, 600 gold advantage going into the side of Gen.G. So this game is far from over from the side of SCARZ. In fact, SCARZ, if they can find that first kill for themselves on the Clash lane, that could swing things in their favor for the side of Glow.
Look at how Mfang is rotating from lane to lane to get that extra farm. A little bit of an edge, potentially, considering Rock is out farming him in the bottom lane. He's actually doing a great job picking up yet another Firehawk. This is not looking good if you're from SCARZ. You definitely want to get as much farm as possible, and you're falling behind. ASD now is suffering because of that, because a lot of that farm is being filtered into or funneled into Mfang here.
Okay, so 300 gold, not the biggest of differences. You will probably get an item like maybe, what, 30, 40 seconds earlier. My main concern here is actually Inua, because Inua was the one that got the first blood kill onto the side of SCARZ, and he's also responsible for that big burst damage ASD.
Oh, they got the knock up. ASD not able to get away. Wawa just lining him up. Inua just taking him down. Inua's been on point with these blades.
Yeah, this is a very quick game, and the scary burst potential of Glow is slowly being muted by Inua, who is now leading by close to 2 levels. After this wave, it should be 1. But Glow, this is not a nice game to play.
Yeah. Oh, they're about to control and then knock down Inua again. Set up by Clue. That flash control, so good. And now Gen.G looking to invade the enemy jungle. ASD, all they can do is watch at this point as another Crimson goes the way of Ray.
Oh, feels bad, man. This one is tough to watch for SCARZ fans. Right now, Gen.G, look, they kind of changed the entire plane of the game with those unorthodox picks, and now suddenly they play a stock standard simple combination. Clue with the catch, Inua with the burst, and SCARZ, they can't deal with it.
Yeah, they can't deal with it. I mean, I think the last game just completely like threw them off, where SCARZ are like, oh, now they're playing standard. It's like, oh, okay, there's still people that I don't really like. And again, these best of fives are a true test to teams, right? It is not easy going into one of them because there are literally heavyweight fights. You got to be super prepared, and some of these drafts will throw you off.
They have turned their confidence into mush. This is a potential kill.
Yeah, potential kill here. They're gonna go, but the set sail. Wah, trying to just dodge his way around. It looks like he's giving up on life. He will go down. Just buy time for Ray to join the fray, who does get the return kill. And now Ray will take the 2 freebies, essentially, as he gets the double.
No way. No way. This is a clean one. Pure teamwork from the side of Gen.G. And right now, look, ASD is suffering. He is a level behind Ray. And the fact that they're feeding kills into Ray, he's going to be a raid boss at this point. I don't see how they're going to be able to stop him.
Yeah, I don't think that, it's going to be easy here. I mean, it's super scary at this stage, the Dian Wei. And now look at how they're looking to invade. All SCARZ can do is just watch. They have no chance. Ray takes yet another buff away, and ASD really struggling to find any sort of farm, as well as the rest of SCARZ.
5.5 minutes in, it is a 4,000 gold lead for the side of Gen.G. And look, Gen.G, they said, look, we used the Diadia earlier in the game, in the series. No problem. We have a new one. We have the Liang for the catch. And in fact, this one is a more potent combination.
Yeah, and there's a reason why teams are banning Liang, even first phase, right? Just the amount of control, and you're seeing the meta kind of shift more towards like these glass cannon type of mobile, high damaging type of heroes, and then Liang just shut it down. Yes, obviously he's very vulnerable when he locks you down, but when you have the rest of the team to just like, follow up and you have that damage and that burst, it's going to make things much, much easier. So you need to figure out a way to find Clue. He's been setting up the attacks. And, when he flash controls you, you're going to have a tough time as he does it yet again with those freshly forged blades. Inuo gets the pick off here. Ray still up in front. The set sail a little off the mark on this one. Mfang running for his life so low. And now ASD's low as well. The return kill. Glow is going to be picked off. And unfortunately for him, it's going to be a 2-for-1.
They will take that trade any day. Another wave coming in for the pressure on all 3 lanes. In fact, it is a little bit of space before they reach the T2s. So SCARZ can breathe easy for a couple of seconds, but now T2 on the top, instantly pressured. What can they do? I don't see an angle of opening here available. There are no ultimates for Enfeng and Arashi. That comeback factor is dwindling.
Yeah, I think SCARZ, the only red buff they got was in the first minute. Right? Like every time after that, Gen.G has invaded and taken that away. Like they're on timers. Like whenever they make rotations or whenever they're trying to invade, like it's based around this buff. And ASD has largely struggled. He's level 9, has not been able to farm. And look at him. He's 3.8 versus the 4.6 of Ray. He's really struggling to find any sort of footing in this game.
Yep, it's 1,000 gold ahead, and it's so difficult for them to come back into this game because, like you said, they have to catch Clue, and nobody is even close to catch Clue at this point.
I mean, Clue has that, the China walls with those barriers just on point. And they're like nice little stampede, nice little control. Arashi's going to be killed and Rock gets that pickup, but Ray will die in return. It's a 2-for-1 yet again. And now Gen.G taking the bottom T2.
Blue team has destroyed
An instant convergence coming in for the side of Gen.G. This may very well be the start of the end once again. They do get a nice knockup of the
Glow finally gets the pick off. That's exactly what we wanted. It might have been a little too late, but it's at 8 minutes. He does get that pick off. He wants to go for yet another. He's trying to go for a Rock. Not able to get that final Kachusen onto him. And now they're chasing. He does end up getting a Glow with a strike back. It's a 2-for-0. And now they want to get the T1 mid.
Signs of life coming in from the side of SCARZ, but instantly the comeback with the set sail just to put them a little bit back. Gen.G now, they have options around the map, and SCARZ, they have to be really careful about the way they choose to pick fights now.
Yeah, Glow, you just need to go, right? Green light, go. Find somebody. Find Rock. That is your #1 target. Find Inua. Those are the 2. And obviously with Clue kind of out of the picture, it'll really set things up. That's where you want to be.
Yeah, and right now, I think one of the important common spells on the side of SCARZ, it has to come from Glow, right? Every time he has the flash, he has the potential to make a huge, big play. But until that moment presents itself, it's a risk, because if he dives in, dies, that huge burst potential is not going to be showing up anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to stay alive as well. Glow hasn't, I mean, aside from those couple of pickoffs, which is great in getting himself back in this game, but he hadn't really had too much of an impact in this game thus far. He's been largely behind. Gen.G picking up that Tyrant here. This is going to be another difficult situation, trying to kind of, you know, being pushed away. Inua, like those blades are just like poking and prodding, making things difficult for SCARZ to even get into the lane.
5,000 gold ahead. Rock has the Crimson buff. Inua has plenty of farm. Ray is level 12 against ASD, who's level 11. This is not ideal, but it's still something they can come back from. 10-minute mark, we will see the Shadow variants come out.
Never say never, right? I think in this case, SCARZ have options. Obviously, their map is very dark. The top T3 is actually under siege by minions alone. But through it all, I guess the Shadow Tyrant was the bigger picture. But it looks like they have no chance at that. Now they're going to just kind of fall back and regroup and just defend the base, at least for now. But Gen.G, my gosh, they're making some good moves across the map. This map control has been insane.
It's a test of restraint, right now from both teams. You don't want to overextend, because as the game goes later, number one, death timers are going to start becoming a lot longer. At the same time, you know, the goal difference will start to cut down, and SCARZ will have a way back into this game.
Yeah, they definitely have a way, and it's going to help the fact that Mfeng has, the Crimson buff right now, which is definitely going to help in terms of that damage. He needs to get going. He's like 3.9 net K net worth. That's very low considering we're looking at the opposing side from Gen.G. But now they found Clue. They get the nice little pick off. Mfeng finds him out. Rock now a little bit on the low side. He's going to get killed as well. Arashi finding him, but Ray trying to fight this 1 versus 4. Are they able to do it? And Ray is down. 3 members down. SCARZ finding ways to claw back into this game.
When there's a will, there's a way. And SCARZ will not take no for an answer. What a beautiful play. The fact that you mentioned that they needed to catch Clue. Clue was one of the big win conditions. And Rock, he was forced to dive into a very uncomfortable position. And Arashi, when it's a one-on-one Byron against an Arlie at this stage of the game, no problem. He can deal with him.
Yeah, and just finding that pickoff was huge. And Rock did go the wrong way. I think that was an uncharacteristic mistake. He probably should have just gone closer to his own base, and instead he went further in. And this is an opening that SCARZ has been waiting for. I mean, the fact that they're into this one, and like the 12-minute mark, the net worth lead is dwindling in favor of, Gen.G at this point. But still, SCARZ clawing their way and finding opportunities to get back in this game.
The silver lining down here is the fact that Gen.G has not been able to break those tier 3s onto the base of SCARZ. And this might cost Gen.G as we go later into the game. 12.5 minutes in. Now, that jungle aggression, taking the buffs, it's not as apparent anymore. And Ray is now at risk of actually being taken down by the lineup of SCARZ.
Yeah, I mean, it really comes back to just like Clue initiating. Rock is all the way up in front, being a little bit of poking and prodding. Inua needs to be a little bit on the safe side. The Shadow Vanguard will push the bottom lane. So if anything, Gen.G are looking for maybe some sort of pickoff, maybe a bit of a fight into this Azure Golem here.
Yep, and this buff is super vital actually. If it goes in the hands of Inua, then it's going to amplify the kill potential, but hang on.
Rock needs to be a little bit careful. He's got the Paracel. Glow's already been picked off, and through it, Ray all the way. He's been in this menace, pacing after them, wants to go, but Clue is going to be picked. Arashi trying to trade it out, wants to go for this one, but 3 members already down, trading for Glow, and SCARZ finding it. The opportunities are picking away, and they end up getting a triple with Mfeng as Wawa goes down. Ray is the last lone survivor. SCARZ making a beeline for that top T2. They are potentially looking to end this game. They have the Vanguard. They're going to chip away at it. 15 seconds for Inua to come back. That might not be enough time. The Vanguard so slowly making his way there. Ray wants to stop this Vanguard more than anything else. It's 1 versus 4. Is he able to go for this one? And Ray gets picked off as well. And SCARZ, ASD down for the count, but here come the cavalry. Clue gets the lockdown, has the control. The flash away by Ochik. The base is at half-life, and Clue still up in front. But with Rock and Inua there, it looks like that's going to be the end of things.
Oh, the timing hurt so much for SCARZ. This was so close, they could have had it, but there was just not enough time. And I mean, Inua, Rock, and Clue, these 3 musketeers saving the base of Gen.G, and suddenly it is SCARZ who has to run back for a bit.
Like, I'm wondering if instead of killing Ray, if they just focused the crystal, couldn't they have just won the game there?
I think they could have, but it was a risk. I mean, either way, if you failed, you were gonna die. So I think it would have been a better try.
Okay.
To go for the crystal.
Yeah. No, I mean, killing Ray and getting out is definitely the safer route, right? Because nobody did die in the end. Obviously, you've kind of extended the game here, and now you're in a more precarious situation. But I think that they had the damage to take down the crystal. It is a bit of a risk. It's all in, so to speak. But when you have those opportunities, I mean, to end that game and to send this to a 5th game, wouldn't you take it?
The question now is, who's going to show? Because Clue is going to have his flash. In fact, I think he has it now. And if they catch out the primary target on the side of SCARZ, this fight is going to go bad.
Yeah, ASD up in front. I think he's going to show in that sense. But look, Gen.G doing a great job of putting pressure in the other lanes. But they haven't taken any of the T3s. So the pressure that's actually being pushed on is not that great. That said, Arashi, he's going to get jumped on. He gets controlled. He's been locked down. Arashi down for the count. They have the return kill in Ray, and that's going to be a huge win for them. It's 1 for 1. The set sail. He's looking to go around and connecting onto 2. But now the Shadow Tyrant at the 15-minute, 50-second mark. Inua throwing out those blades like they're going out of style. But it looks like the Tyrant is going to be picked up here by ASD.
Yep, so a different trade coming in. Arashi for Ray definitely costed for the side of Gen.G. Right now, they have to stem the bleeding at the top. Not only that, SCARZ, they do have the damage potential to be able to do a double neutral objective at this point. Whether it's going to be enough, let's see, because if they make a mistake of overcommitting into the fights, they could really take a big loss here.
Yeah, it's slow rolling up this hill. It's going to be tough here. The Shadow Overlord, Wawa spots it out. Clue is going to be there as well. But no flash on Clue. Ray is back up as well as ASD. Oh, sorry, as Arashi. And they're going to be joining into this fight. The Overlord potential next big fight here.
Yeah, well, look, 17 minutes in. This is so tense between the two teams. You can tell Ray knows that they're inside there, but he just doesn't know who is inside.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to face check this brush here, but it looks like they're turning around the Invincible Warrior, ASD at half-life. They get the knockoff, they get the pickup, they find Rock of all things! And now Wawa try to just defend, try to kill on Mempeg, and he's going to be picked up. And SCARZ have found 2 members. They've traded ASD. I think that's a worthwhile trade. Now they want to go for the mid T2. They burn that down quickly. SCARZ now looking to take the mid T3, knocking on the door. Arashi dealing with the top lane. The rest of SCARZ in that mid lane. They take this down. They burn it down as quickly as possible. Arashi has the force field suppression. They have those barriers, and it looks like SCARZ are going to hold the horses a little bit because the bottom lane, they need to go all the way back to the bottom T1.
Yeah, restraint is definitely necessary at this point, right? Wave management, now we get to test how well do you manage a waves for both teams. Now, at this point, SCARZ will have access to the Shadow Overlord. We are still a ways away from the Tempest Dragon. Gen.G, I think they should be able to hold this until then. But let's see, how does SCARZ play their cards? They have a big one now.
We have a big one, and Shadow Vanguard is going to be making an appearance here as well. I mean, 2 minutes for that Tempest Dragon. We could potentially go there, but SCARZ have clawed their way back into this one. The net worth is literally tied at this point. I mean, SCARZ have found ways to get in. The mid and the top T3 both taken down. SCARZ right now looking to siege the bottom T2, and Gen.G, it's all hands on deck to defend.
Yep, the cost is high for both teams. They have been dealt with their hands before in the sense that long series, BO5s, full distance. Right now, the experience is going to show.
ASD with the Invincible Warrior pushing them away. It was just more to take them and to push them back. They've taken the bottom T3. All lanes now are going to be pushing. The base is wide open. SCARZ rightly regroup, and they're going to look to just push with those Vanguards.
They don't have to overextend, right? There's 30 seconds, no, about a minute before the Tempest Dragon comes out. And with the knowledge that all of the ultimates are available for the side of Gen.G, it is a risk to go in against the likes of them.
Oh, if they're able to take that Crimson Bluff, they were not raped, smites it down for good measure. That would have been huge if SCARZ was able to take that one as well, especially since 40 seconds Tempest Dragon, Vanguards, all 3 lanes. Gen.G just trying to defend and to hold on. That Tempest Dragon is going to be key.
Yeah, this is so important to SCARZ. Right now, they cannot make a single mistake. Any mistake right now at this stage of the game means a loss. And Rock is going to try and step in a little bit too overzealously. I'm not comfortable with this positioning, but it's a bait. We all know that.
Yeah, it's definitely a bait. I mean, he knows to the extent. I mean, ASD, not much you can do. I mean, yeah, you get the little charge here. But the Tempest Dragon, this is why it's key. All 3 lanes have been pushing. Wawa was in the bottom lane. Now, the Tempest Dragon, it looks like they're going to try to burn it down as quickly as possible. Mfang has some serious damage. They have the vision. ASD still up in front. Mfang slowly burning it down. It's down about 25%. Clue looking for the right angle. Looks like Tempest Dragon, they're going to just bail on this one. It's too risky. The set sail connecting onto ASD. They have those barriers and the zones of control. It looks like SCARZ maybe starting the Tempest Dragon back up, forcing Gen.G to kind of go into them and to kind of maybe find some sort of pickoff. Ray up is in front. Tempest Dragon, half-life. They do have the damage if they want to go for this one. But now ASD, a little bit still there. The Tempest Dragon, 25%. Now's the time if they want to go. And the Tempest Dragon is going to be picked off. ASD takes it for free. Ray and Rock are both down. They get the pick off and they find them out. They find Rock. They find Clue. They find Ray. They've got the double. They're going to get more as they take Inua down. That's going to be the second time for him. And through it all, SCARZ come back. And it looks like it's going to be Wawa versus the world. He's going to be picked off as well. And SCARZ will send this to a Game 5.
Crazy game. I mean, SCARZ, that has definitely got to be a boost of confidence. Curious to see what the camp looks like for Gen.G right now. 2-2. Day 1 of Survival Week. Last game, last series of that day. And we have the full best of 5.
We knew it was going to go to the distance, right? This is the kin curse or the kin blessing. I don't know how you look at it, but we're there now. I mean, we knew it was going to go the distance between these two teams. It was very evenly matched. They struck back and forth. How was SCARZ going to respond in that Game 4? That was going to be pivotal, and they were up to the task. They brought it, and they went all in on this one, and they played such a smart game, and they pulled out the V.
Look, they held on in the previous game before this one, and it didn't work out, so they had to make this one count. They held on for dear life, and boy, did they hold on well, because they hold on to the Tempest Dragon. And look, that final moment didn't even come down to a comparison of smites. It came down to a normal basic attack, or maybe even the Blazing Cape on the side of ASD. And with that, they just hit the gas, never looked back, because that was an open, barren base. And right now, we're tied 2-2. Gen.G against SCARZ. I mean, this one, nobody knows what's going to happen. There is no clear advantage.
Yeah, no clear advantages, especially going to Game 5. I mean, I would always give the edge to the last team that won, that forced the final game. I think that there's a thing, like the momentum is definitely there. SCARZ have definitely been feeling good, but now Gen.G need to go back into the drawing board, take a little bit of a break, right? Do you go into like a more a non-conventional draft to kind of throw them off a bit? Do you show all of your cards? Like, it's going to be super interesting going into this final game here.
Yeah, because, I mean, they have been taking a few unorthodox drafts in this best of 5 series so far. We have played a total of 4 games. But let's take a look at the itemization. The big one to me was actually the Sage's Sanctuary. we have reached that stage of the game, and I think there was only one Sage's Sanctuary on the side of Gen.G when the fight started, but it wasn't enough. 6v5, it was still SCARZ.
Still SCARZ, still Mfeng, right? I mean, he had 9 kills, 9, 1, and 5, I believe. 112,000 damage. His positioning was flawless. His ability to find targets, flawless. Finding Rock, not the easiest of things to do, especially when you have Ray and Wawa just being this like meat shield up front. But look at this gold grab. Gen.G's hopes up and down and through it all. There's a little bit of blue, mind you, but somehow SCARZ pulls out the victory. That's a crazy game.
Yep, it was a dash of confidence coming in from the side of SCARZ. Now, I think it's safe to say that the MVP is going to be Mfeng here. He has done phenomenally. 9, 1, and 5, 34% of the total hero damage dealt by SCARZ was dealt by this man on a wolf.
I mean, he's just taking the channel to the next level. We'll check out the highlights. He was all the way up in front. Look at those wolves. Just look how much attack. And Rock is in a bad spot. He gets picked off. And this is kind of like the beginning of the end, dare I say, where SCARZ are like, oh, they're really back in this game. They're in the driver's seat. I mean, they're down about 5K at that point. But they were able to find that pickoff, and that just changed everything because Gen.G had so much control, forcing them back to take their team fight. Clue was getting pickoffs left and right, you know, with the rest of the team, but it totally changed at that moment.
Yeah, only 2 words matter at this point for the side of SCARZ, and that is target prio. They knew what was needed to be done, and they did it. And this was a very clear understanding that they could definitely out-damage the side of Gen.G. All they needed to do was the last. And look, they took a risk on the side of Gen.G. They did not go for the heals. They went for massive control. And I think the addition of this old chick Secure was one of the main reasons why they won these fights so hard as well. Look at the spikes. They're healing everyone up, but also damaging the lineup of Gen.G.
Yeah, it just, I mean, the fact that they were able to just like get the jump, find Rock, lock the guy down, get the pick off. I mean, so many good things were happening. The target prioritization from SCARZ was insane. Like, Ray's trying to fight this 1 versus 4, but the rest of it, look at Clue. He's got the nice little lockdown on the globe, but no chance. There was no follow-up. They had no damage. Rock was down for the count, and now is all, like, all-out retreat. They were routed. They were just, like, pushed back. No real control. SCARZ, what a perfect way to bounce back. Very impressive win.
Yep, there was no other way. And of course, with that being said, before we take a look at the last game of the series, we will go for a short break. When we're back, we'll find out the winners of this best of 5. We'll see you soon.
Strangers to the fallout, it's what got us here. Ever changing, some chameleon, blood, sweat, and tears. We'll never make it if we fall to everything that brings us down. With a comeback is now. Blood, sweat, and tears. Fight for what we want. Doesn't matter the cost. Every day, put in work. Blood, sweat, and tears. Nothing comes overnight.
Welcome back. It is going to be the conclusion of this best of 5, and right now SCARZ against Gen.G. This is not the only battle they'll be fighting today. Tomorrow they're facing off again. Will we get a best of 5? All the full series? We don't know. What we want to find out now is how this game is going to go.
Yes, I hope so. I mean, look at how deep these these teams are going right now. Going into the 5th game of the global ban and pick. Not the easiest. All of these heroes, they cannot be used again. Tough situation for both. Now it's to see exactly how deep their hero pools really are as they go into the pivotal game 5 to see who pulls out this series.
Yep, and now you start to appreciate, right? The fact that, look, teams like Nongshim that had to go best of 7 for so many games, now you know how difficult it is and how well and how deep their hero pool was.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the true test, right? I think that, look, best of 5s is still a true test for these teams, especially since they haven't really had that experience. Usually, I would say when you stream, it's like a best of 3, or even in the group stage, or in this case, the ranking week, all of those were best of 3s. But this is where the true brilliance of, Honor of Kings Esports in terms of the draft and how well prepared you need to be is key. Because, again, game 5, 20 heroes, you're not allowed to be picked. Now you got to get to your 25th hero. Like, what level is it going to be at? I'm kind of worried.
True, but at the same time, it's also like, look, the standard heroes, are they really Gen.G's choice? I'm just considering, what if Gen.G comes up with another unorthodox draft?
Yeah, but actually the unorthodox draft did them, I would say, benefits in the sense that they have more openings, like in the sense that they haven't really picked out some of the more traditional meta heroes, and obviously SCARZ can attack that with the bans and whatnot, but it might actually open up doors. It might be brilliance more in the late game or in the game 5, like right now.
Yeah, so they ban out the Lung again, they ban out the Luna, and this time SCARZ, they're gonna follow suit. They take away the Ming, they take away the Pei. Are we in for another carnival run of a draft?
Yeah, I mean, now is the time, right? I think that we're going to find out first, and they're going to go with the Dolia to kind of set things up. I'm not 100% sold. I think the Dolia has really fallen off since season 3. Not the highest of win rates, if I remember correctly. It's got a, 4 and 9, 30% win rate, not the highest.
Okay, so they're gonna try and take a look at the Mozi and Sun Ce combination. The long stuns coming from the Cannon Blast, and also the team fight setting with the set sail. So that's a great start. But Gen.G, they come up with a channel, very standard, I would say. Looks like we're gonna have an interesting one, and they're going to try for the Elaine, Death by Sunset. Double.
Meet my swords.
Yeah, I mean, what's better than 1 death by sunset? It's usually 2 death by sunsets, right? But it looks like SCARZ are going to turn things around. They're going to go the Shoyi, maybe show Rock how it's actually played, even though I think Rock is probably the best Shoyi player out there right now. But this is going to be interesting. And why, again, game 5 going in, this might not be your best hero. We're going to have to see if ASD or Mfeng end up playing it. They'll probably chase Rock depending on what he ends up going with.
Okay, so SCARZ, they're gonna ban out the initiator heroes. I like the Dune ban because it allows instant access into the backlines. It can also chase down this Soyue. Now, whether this Soyue is gonna go into the hands of Mfeng or whether it's gonna go into the hands of ASD, we don't know just yet. But Gen.G, they take away that big burst potential that Gan and Mo, is gonna be taken out.
Yeah, and actually, one thing to note, and I know that we're way past it, but the first phase bans, Ming was, again, targeted by SCARZ. They're really targeting Clue on this one. They have some sort of intel. They know something is up because, again, that ban is definitely something that we never really see except for going up against Gen.G.
Okay, so they're gonna try for the pretty much close team fight base picks here. Lady Chen does well in big team fights. Destructive Deluge, Ocean of Tears, Flowing Side, it all works well, and woo! Kong Ming! Not from the side of SCARZ, but from the side of Gen.G.
You must think ahead.
Wait, okay, all right. I see it. Kong Ming in the mid lane, and then Kaiser in the jungle. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Oh, but the Hanshin! Oh, SCARZ rounding out their draft. I love it. both of these squads really wanting it, the best foot forward on both going into this game 5.
Yeah. Look, they're looking to one-up each other, and right now, this is who is the better. I don't know. Is this coming is going to the mid for sure. So who's better? Is Rock better? Is Enfeng better? It has to go into Enfeng, right?
On the Hanshin?
It's a Hanshin.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely towards Enfeng play style.
It's him.
So this is like the first time in this entire series where Rock will be in the farm lane and then Enfeng will actually be in the jungle. So they're not going to be, laning against one another. This is going to be, it's so interesting. I mean, these guys have been going back and forth. It has been a chess match throughout the entire day today. But again, pivotal game 5, we could not have asked for a better series.
Yeah, and regardless of the result, this is going to be a big, win for whoever wins. Because look, they have fought tooth and nail for every single point on this board, and whoever wins it, well deserved.
Well deserved. In fact, I mean, look, I love the fact that we're into a game 5, like really testing these teams, the resolve, the drafts. And almost stamina at this point. I mean, it is a bit late, right? It's 11 p.m. right now, and we're going into a Game 5 Gen.G 2-2 with SCARZ. This is all that we could have asked for here.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is peak entertainment. When I first stepped into Honor of Kings, I was not expecting this level of craziness. But yeah, I'm hardly surprised, but this is a surprise. Now let's see. I mean, there's a lot of risk involved with picking up a Kongming. Lesser risk involved with taking up a Hansing in comparison. But we'll see. It all comes down to individual execution and how well you synergize as a team.
It's all about the synergies, but at the same time, it's about the execution as well. I think that the biggest thing to take note of is that, like, the double celestial melodies, the double ults from everybody. Everybody has a good potential way of just utilizing that spell. It's going to be so key when those team fights are starting to happen, like 2 winning fireballs, winning strategies, excuse me. I mean, you like 2 invincible warriors, like, you have so many options.
Yeah, and right off the get-go, you can see both teams putting a lot of aggression. Now, Inoue steals that first camp, and Wawa actually doing okay, but he does not have his common spell.
Yeah, he's going to be chased here. He's going to definitely maneuver around that ocean of tears. Wawa will stay alive. It was a little on the predictable side, especially when you see Elsa chasing after you, and it looks like he did not want to build a snowman.
Yep, definitely. A snowman is not what they're looking for at this point. A win is what they're looking for. And SCARZ, I think right now they're trading by a little bit. It's neck and neck. 300 gold, really the most minuscule of leads for the side of Gen.G.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about this Shoyu Chano matchup. I mean, ASD is probably not really too well versed in this matchup in and of itself. Obviously, he's very well versed on the the Shoyu, but it's a situation where it's like, do you want to be soloing this, or do you want Ochik to kind of just stick around to ensure that you've got a decent set of farm?
Oh, nice. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. At this point, Inoue was just locked up, and I think that shows you. Hang on.
Oh, they've got him. They've got him. They've got the knockoff. Clue just barely able to dash away. Enfeng is going to be killed. He's going to give up first blood, and Glow goes down as well. Gen.G are finding it. Ochik just trying to dash away to safety. ASD is there, but they've got the pick off, and more importantly, it looks like they're going to take the Azor Golem as well. And now Gen.G finding ways to get back in this game, and they're taking the lead now.
Oh no, this is gonna snowball out of control really soon. 1,000 gold, taking away the Azure buff from Enfeng is a huge marker. He needs his Azure buff, he needs the cooldown, he needs the mana regeneration.
He needs to stay alive more than anything else. Enfeng dying right there, absolutely huge. 0-1 and 0. I mean, that's the biggest one, but still net worth. He's still, actually outpacing Ray. So I guess we got to give props where props are due. Enfeng still finding ways to farm.
Look, Enfeng, if you're not happy with that, you can find him at Dashcast. All over social
come
media.
at me, bro. Come at me, bro. Bring it. Anyways, in the bottom lane here, okay, look. Arashi dealing with Wawa, but Inoue is going to be there. The set sail, and he's going the wrong way. He's going to go onto the tower, but the winning strategy will hit him on his way out. And a parting gift, but not a killing blow.
Yeah, it is going to delay his movement into the lanes as well because he needs to get those due. He needs to get up his health and HP, right? Done so already, but you know what? He's going to have his winning strategy pretty quickly. The cooldown on that skill is insanely short.
While it is short, one thing to note is that Inu is level 6, Glow is level 4. He's been struggling after that early death, hasn't really been able to farm. And mind you, I get it. SCARZ, they don't let Glow really farm and be that carry. He's more of like a utility style. But hang on. Okay, like they found Arashi. They've got him with a winning strategy, and Inu snipes him out.
Oh, he is just on a mission to hunt. And you know what? I had my doubts. I was like, he plays Gun and Mo. It's kind of different from playing, the Kongming. But boy, Inua is just killing it this game.
Yeah, he's doing really well. I mean, the movement has been great. Getting that pick off, absolutely huge at this stage. And that's going to lead into this Tyrant here, which is going to be picked up by Ray. Gen.G up about 2K.
Oh, they're kind of locked in, but at this point, Wawa might have to give his life. Okay, they will not commit the set sail. They want to make it more useful at this point. And it's a little bit concerning because 3-0, SCARZ have not found an opening just yet.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really found... I mean, Gen.G have done such a good job in this laning phase. Just the pace, the pressure, the pickoffs. I mean, everything that you would want right now for Gen.G. Having a great early start to this game.
Yeah, the double Ps, right? So at this point, Inua, I'm so impressed with this Kongming gameplay. Okay, it's not like super spectacular or anything like that, but he is providing so much value for the team. Like you said, the difference between him and Glow, it is quite shocking.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. I mean, Glow has just been sticking around the lane more. He's not really rotating because he's been far behind. And now ASD's Rock looking to just go in, force Mfang back. He does have it with this one, but now Mfang over the wall, thought about going in, but decides against it. And Inua in the mid lane, looking for somebody to just show up. The Ocean of Tears a little off the mark.
Okay, it's so hard because the time shift is really quick. And right now, the big question I have is, who has not used his Celestial Melody just yet? And I'm curious to see, how is he going to choose?
Yeah, I think it's whoever screams loudest, I think. That's usually how it works in the comms, right?
True. Okay. I normally wouldn't give it to the person that screams because I don't like loud noises. But here we go. This is a potential kill.
Oh, Jake gets under the tower. He's going to be fine. And the Inua is going to be at half life. He's done such a great job of providing a presence throughout and looking to just cut off the lane of retreat. And look at SCARZ. 3 members down. The Wild Wind is going to be a little off the mark. But again, just space created. Rock takes the bottom T1, trading with Mfang's top T1.
Yeah, Mfang is just on his own personal mission at this point, right? He needs to be the one that kind of splits the lanes, push down the waves, and get the gold advantage in his favor as well. Because Mfang will probably be that initiator besides Arashi, and he needs the farm to be healthy. He needs the farm to be able to tank through the damage as well.
Yeah, he wants to be off the map. I mean, largely, he just wants to be farming. I think that as long as he's not dying, I mean, he did have that early death, but he needs to just be funneled as much farm as possible. He is your win condition. You need to be able to find, because if he gets onto Inuo, Rock, or Clue, like, he's just going to kill them, right? He's going to be able to just find that angle of attack, but, you know, he needs that farm before he can get that burst.
Yep. Right now, the biggest concern is for the side of ASD. Will he get found out? That's a big concern. Because if he gets taken down, it's going to be the start of a horrendous fight for the side of SCARZ.
It might be tough here. And speaking of tough, the bottom T2 taking a lot of damage. Rock dodging the Wild Wind and actually chipping it out. He's doing, you know, he's bouncing the tower aggro and he's doing some serious work. The set sail is going to just go around, make a U-turn, but through it all, Mfang takes the top T2 for free. Split pushing there.
Yep, he's having more impact as a split pusher at this point. And this is the silver lining for the side of SCARZ, right? Mfang, he seems to be getting his farm up as well. Level 12, he is now taking the EXP lead against Ray. But not only that, his items should be online.
Yeah, I think you don't want, I mean, you don't want to be fighting into the death ball that is Gen.G. You were able to just kind of take what the enemy's giving, and they've been kind of sticking together. Gen.G right now have a bit of a, you know, a leak in this house. They need to figure out how to slow them down. Mfang being able to split push for free, largely not what they want.
Yeah, I mean, until he gets his spheres, Inuwa is not going to be in an easy position because he doesn't do well in a team composition like 1v5 when he doesn't have his spheres. He needs the damage. He needs that extra spheres to help him lay down the pain so that he can have the winning strategy put to its best use.
And look at this. I mean, look, SCARZ doesn't even have a single kill, but in terms of net worth, they're only down about 1K. This is largely off the back of Mfang, who took the bottom T1. And the split push has been real. SCARZ, they're playing objectively based, and they're playing smart, right? And understanding that, hey, Gen.G might have a slight advantage, especially with those 3 kills early. They're putting themselves in a position to win, at least in the mid to late game.
Yeah, and the target prio, definitely SCARZ has demonstrated that they have a clearer understanding of it now after the game with Nongshim, and so far they have been putting it to practice.
Yeah, Tyrant going to be picked up here by Gen.G. Ray still up in front, contesting. They might actually go for this 50-50 smite, and it looks like Ray will pick this one up. And Ray, with the Invincible Warrior, says he flexes as he takes their buff and lets it go.
Yeah, but it needs to be a conversion into a turret at this point.
Connecting on a 3, the Meteor kill. They have the knock of the secondary one. The thing inside the box is not going to connect onto this, and Glow survives. The winning strategy he's not going to connect is his buddies actually made a body shield for him.
Okay, but this is a good marker for SCARZ. While it might look like a bad thing because they got pushed back, end of the day, it was a 4v5 and they survived it well. And Fang now, he's going to try and make his way out. Oh, nice juke.
That was actually very clever. I mean, they put pressure there. The top T2 had been, already been taken out. They were potentially going to go for the top T3, so Gen.G had to rotate to deal with this. Mfang is back. Needs to be careful. The winning strategy. Oh, Glow steps in front of that one.
Oh, the body blocking is real from status SCARZ. And once again, no kills, but you can see they have a little bit more efficiency around the map.
Shadow Tyrant right here. Arashi might want to go in. Ochik might just fish for the Cannon Blast more than anything else. Oh, he mistimes it, and it looks like Ray will pick up yet another Tyrant.
Yeah, there's no way teams of this caliber will allow a steal like that anymore. They're going to delay. And right now, it's really about finding the opening. If anything dies, then this game is pretty much over. You can try and catch.
But he's got the boats, and they're going to ride together, die together, and they get themselves to safety. They're going to get back into the mid lane. They're going to reposition.
This is really just both teams searching for an opening. And right here, Inuwa.
Overlord. Inuwa still up and finds Arashi. Mfang takes the Overlord. He gets himself out of this, but Arashi's being chased. Inuwa might have gone in too deep. He's going to get picked off. Stuck around the Invincible Warrior from Ray, but nobody wants any action from him. Ochik might have to just stay under the tower. He's going to be probably left for dead on this one as he's going to get chased by 4 members here. He throws out those Cannon Blasts, but for all that, just to kind of slow them down.
It's a worthy sacrifice because, like you said, they don't really achieve much with this. And end of the day, look, Mfang, he has his itemization. He is going to hit like a truck really soon.
Yeah, but with 3 members down from SCARZ, that was a huge advantage for Gen.G, and they might even find Mfang. He's being chased. I mean, I don't think they have the control to really just lock him down, but still, Mfang just trying to just kind of find farm, get himself back in this game. He has 9,500 gold.
Yeah, that's crazy high. Not the highest. I think it was Rock that has the highest, 9.7. But nonetheless, right? End of the day, the win condition on the side of Gen.G is that they just need to get a huge amount of burst. They don't even have to get the stuns. As long as Inuwa gets his winning strategy on board, Mfang is probably dead.
Yeah. I mean, if he's able to find him, but he hasn't been able to draw him out aside from that early kill. Inuwa, on the other hand, has kind of been largely more defensive, dare I say. He hasn't really just found that pick off, in that mid game.
Yeah, and okay, the game plan here looks like it is going to be nice steal, but Tempest game. This is what SCARZ seem to be playing for.
Yeah, play the late game. I think that it's definitely going to help them out. The only problem is that, I mean, I feel like Inuwa kind of falls off a bit, and Rock is, definitely your carry. You got to be super careful about him. But if they're able to kind of control Rock, find some way to lock him down, maybe with a lucky Cannon Blast or set sail or whatever it is, I think that you could largely kind of mitigate some of that other damage.
Actually, in fact, late game, ASD can just straight up walk in front of Rock and kill him off, right? 3 shots. 4 shots max. That's the probable condition that they're waiting for. So late game, this is all about SCARZ. So if this game goes to the 20-minute mark, you can expect that Gen.G is going to suffer and have a pretty tough time.
Yeah. So you're saying the timer is pretty much on Gen.G to kind of make a play here to get the win?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least on taking a tier 3, right? Glow, no, he's low.
Oh, he's in a bad spot. He's not able to flash away. The Death at Sunset. He's going to go golden, though. Stays alive. He's got the passive, but he does die in the end. The secondary Death at Sunset on to 4 or so, and it looks like Wawa will trade his life away. Clue has been killed as well, and it's going to be a 2-for-1. And through it all, they got 3-for-1, excuse me, as ASD finds yet another as Ray goes down.
Okay, so both teams taking quite a bit of risk here. Now, this is a difficult position for both teams. Gen.G, look, the T3 on the top, really low. It could be a potential kill, but Rock, right now, in danger.
Yeah, in danger here. Mfeng, look at his just trade. I think Mfeng smited it out. He took it under his nose, so to speak, and he's going to look to turn this into a Shadow Tyrant as well. You've got Arashi doing donuts in the parking lot, and through it all, SCARZ finding ways to get back into this game. Yes, they're still down in terms of this net worth, but the last couple of team fights have kind of gone in the favor of SCARZ.
Yeah. Do not be mistaken. The advantage in firepower definitely in the hands of SCARZ at this point. And look, there is very few people who can catch Mfeng, and there's only a select couple that will be able to deal enough damage for that winning strategy to work right now. Oh.
They're gonna go, they find Glow. Oh, that's the initial pickoff. That's a perfect one, but Inua trades his life for this one. I'm not sure if that was the best trade. Inua needs to stick around. The set sail actually slams into the wall. Not gonna be enough to flash away by Arashi. The Death at Sunset onto it, but the think inside the box, they're trying to lock him in. Wawa with that meteor kill. The secondary Death at Sunset onto 3. He's doing some serious work. They have that damage. Ochik now trying to stay alive. He gets picked off. Rock finds him out. It's gonna be a 2-for-1, and through the back door, Mfeng was consistently split pushing.
He's trying to slow down the damage coming in. They want to re-engage Rock.
Oh, they're looking to go for this one. They go for that, and Rock is gonna get picked off. He got blindsided from the back, but Mfeng trades with his life. Arashi is solo. That's a double going the way of Ray, and they've turned this around. And 3 members down from SCARZ, and now Gen.G have an opening. They want to take out this Overlord.
I don't agree with the fight. That was not a fight for SCARZ to take. They should be patient, but in this case, potential steal, Destructive Deluge available.
Oh, ASD is going to show up now. Wawa gets picked, and they get the Overlord. And Ray picks this one up with that smite. That was super risky, but through it all, they were like, hey, we got to get onto Rock. That was his first death, so they went all in to ensure that they got him.
Okay, so look, life is going to be a little bit difficult for the side of Inua on Gen.G because Splendor is available. There should be a little bit more magic resistance coming out. The Succubus Claw going into the hands of Arashi as well. And look, there is just so much burst potential from ASD to deal damage against Inua. He's not going to be able to perform how he has had in the first, 15 minutes of this game.
Yeah, and another thing is that Inua now needs to change his playstyle. He can't be that initiator that's potentially just going for that pick off on the Glow or, you know, ASD or whoever it is. Like, he needs to play a little bit more careful. Let somebody else, like let Ray or Wawa initiate, and then you kind of come in as that second initiator. You're going to have way more success because they're not going to be able to target you down. Inua definitely on the squishier side at this stage of the game.
Yep, and right now, target prio definitely going to be more easy for the side of SCARZ.
Yeah, definitely. Ray's still up in front. ASD taking a decent amount. Needs to be careful. He backs off. Inua dodges the cannon blast like a pro. And through it all, Gen.G dealing with those minions. The Shadow Vanguard in the top lane, something to take note of.
Yeah, and look, Mfeng, he's just going to do Hanxing things, right? End of the day, he is so mobile, he is so fast, and he's going to be able to kind of alleviate the pressure coming in from the waves. Every single instance, he's not there. He is clearing waves, and this is buying so much time for SCARZ. They will definitely hit that Tempest Dragon timing.
Would you say he's fast and furious? I'll show myself out.
Yeah, I am gonna make a Chinese. No, I'm gonna make a Chinese joke. But anyway, Feng is like a wind, and yeah, he's gone like the wind essentially.
Okay, but look at Mfeng waiting in that brush. This could be risky, but I'm pretty sure they think that Mfeng is definitely not going to stick around. That seems way too risky, and Gen.G will just deal with this. Mind you, the Tempest Dragon is up in about 2 minutes. Something to take note of.
Oh, Mfeng, he's around the corner.
Oh, Wawa. The set sail. They can connect on the 2. They do have it, but the Cannon Blast also connecting on the 2. But they're going to just run. They don't have the follow-up damage. SCARZ, nice combos, nice stuns, but no follow-ups.
Okay, in fact, I think it would be crazy, but it's worth for Gen.G to try and melt down and rat that top tower as well. That could work out in their favor.
Yeah, but I mean, do you go out, especially with the Shadow Tyrant? It doesn't look like they're going to contest at all. Life number 1 is going to be done for M-Feng. That's going to be huge. Something to take note of, especially since, you know, again, he doesn't have that in the next team fight. They found M-Feng. They were able to get that pick off. Death at Sunset, not going to be fully committed. They're going to look to just regroup.
Yeah, and look, you only have 2 charges of the Sage's Sanctuary. You don't want to burn it out, you know, prematurely as well. M-Feng.
Split pushing. He's playing big enemy lines. I am so scared for him. He actually damage from Inua, but Inua had no idea. He's just going to continue moving on. The lanes have been pushing. And mind you, Wawa's in the bottom lane. Tempest Dragon up in 60 seconds.
No, he knows. Look, there is a notification when you hit someone in the bush, but I think, you know what, he understands. Look, the wave pressure is more important. We need to break that T3 on the top. And SCARZ, they're going to defend this with their life as they have had in the past 2 games.
Yeah, Ray up in front. They're throwing out the wolves. And Ochik is going to kind of back off, gets the Cannon Blast onto a rock. And through it all, it looks like they're going to hold, at least for now, the top T3 very low. And that is definitely an opening for Gen.G, but Gen.G doesn't really have the minions. They have to constantly deal with the lane management, plus the fact that M-Feng is split pushing throughout.
Yeah, right now, every Cannon Blast is so vital from the side of Ochik. It can set up potential kills, even onto Inua. And at this point, it's all about the burst damage that Inua offers. Can he find an opening to create space so that Rock can go in, Wawa can jump the backlines?
And now we're here. Tempest Dragon is showing up. The 20-minute mark, we're finally there. SCARZ still in the top. M-Feng being scouted out by Inua. He's looking for that pickoff. He's looking to go aggressive.
Yep, and Inua, he does have the Moon Goddess. That's an upgrade from the Splendor, and it's going to give him a little bit more breathing space. But, you know, there's not much space to breathe if all 5 members of SCARZ are onto you. So Inua needs to play really safe. M-Feng already looking for that split push.
Yeah, split pushing top lane. M-Feng looking to just deal with this. The Tempest Dragon has been started. SCARZ do know this. They've got the traps, the Death at Sunset connecting onto 3. The meteor kill is going to be legit. Almost gets a pick off onto ASD. And through it all, Wawa skirts them away. The Tempest Dragon is continuing on. They've been picked off, perfectly spaced out. Well played by Gen.G at this point. Now SCARZ on the retreat, trying to run away. Arashi just so low, he gets picked off. Inua finally finds him. And through it all, SCARZ, 4 members surviving. But Arashi down for 40 seconds. The Tempest Dragon has already been slain by Gen.G.
Yep, and there is a wave. There is something to work with on the side of Gen.G as well. This could very well be death's door for the side of SCARZ.
Yeah, I mean, they need some sort of pickoff. They need to figure out how to deal with this. The Tempest Dragon buff is going to be legit. They just don't have minions at this point. The Vanguards will eventually show, but through it all, Gen.G slow siege, the Death at Sunset. He's looking to potentially, no, it's a fake back. He's not going to go for this one. ASD dashes away. The mid T3 is looking to get destroyed at this point. The Death at Sunset, yes, again. Oh, he gets into the safety of the fountain, and Glow tries to go golden, but the base is going to be open. They've been pushed back. M-Feng is going to be here. He takes a lot of damage. He's got the set sail, gets the pick off. Blue is going to be killed. M-Feng is still there and somehow surviving. They've got the secondary kill, and Wawa's killed as well. It's 2 members down, and SCARZ have held, although they don't have any T3s.
Okay, look, they hold, and this is not new, but still, they hold. SCARZ are on the cusp of making one of the best comebacks we've seen in the Major East League.
Look, if they can come back from down all T3s, right, and they lost the Tempest Dragon,
you shave your head.
Somehow SCARZ wins this game. That would be a miracle. Like, I mean, seriously, like the team fight and the fact that they have to go through what? The T2 mid, they still have so many towers to go through. And if they're able to find that pickoff, it is pretty much Gen.G's game to lose.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. I mean, we knew this was coming. Now, double Phantoms for Wawa and Ray. Once again, this is the upgraded items of the Blood Rage, and we have M-Feng with the Skydome as well. Arashi has not gone for the Winter. So let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, Tempest Dragon up in another 50 seconds. Gen.G, I don't know if they're going to hold for that one, but the lanes, again, all three of them are going to be pushing in favor of Gen.G. Pushed back, SCARZ, backs on the wall, the winning strategy, not enough. Oh, he uses the passive. Oh, ASD so low. He's got the shields, and Death at Sunset's going to be connecting, and he gets the pick off, and Wawa finds him. Oh, what a great Death at Sunset. And ASD down for 40 seconds. This is a worry because, again, ASD is all your wave clear.
Yep. Enfeng as well. He has to come into the base, and here we go. That's another reset.
Death at Sunset on the glow. He goes golden, trying to deal with Wawa, who's chased him back, skirted him back into the fountain, but it looks like they're going to take the base, and Gen.G take Game 5 and the series.
Well, that was well-deserved. They pushed them to the edge. SCARZ, I'm talking about these boys from the JPKR region, doing so well to hold Gen.G for so long, but Gen.G will not be denied.
Not be denied at all. And I mean, look, Wawa, to me, just towards the end, those Death at Sunsets, the secondary ones, he was hitting 3-man, 4-man Death at Sunsets. He was just on fire. Wawa just pushing them all back, just did such a great job on this lane.
Yeah, and they tried. SCARZ, I mean, Ochik, he was saving his thing inside the box to make sure that he could catch Wawa after the fact that he jumped to the skies, but still, ASD, he made a very, very big blunder. He got greedy. He tried to kill Inuwa, stepped a bit too far forward, and that was the finishing blow.
Yeah, look, and also on Inuwa, like, we got to give him props. Like, he had an amazing game on this KME. We were kind of like suspect in the sense of like, is he going to be able to kind of play it to the high level? Oh yeah, he's ready, man. He's good to go. He was finding pickoffs. He was finding solos. He was really forcing the action early. And there's a reason why Gen.G had such a huge lead, because it was off the back of Inuwa.
Yep. Now, look, this series has been the absolute messiest of all series I have ever watched and casted in Honor of Kings. So it's a fun one. And look, this result, I think MVP-wise, it's a struggle to wrestle between Wawa and Inuwa because both of them have played extremely well. In fact, you can even throw in Clue as well. He was doing so well on this Dolia.
Yeah, actually, everyone from Gen.G really stepped up. You know, I've been more than impressed on this one. Everyone was just understanding the maximum of what their, like, the hero roles are supposed to do, and they were, you know, to utilize all that value throughout. I mean, everyone played so well. Big props to Gen.G. Well-deserved victory.
Yeah. You know what? Throw in Shishui as well. But throw the coach in. He's absolutely crazy with the drafts. His drafts have won some games for Gen.G here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What, game 3? That was an amazing draft, and we'll see highlights of that. And to be honest, it might be in SCARZ and Nongshim's nightmares the next couple of days as they play throughout, because they're like, do we need to expect this caveman strat going up against us? It could be completely caught off guard if they're not prepared.
Yeah, definitely you will get bludgeoned if you're not prepared for it. But that's the surprise, because how do you prepare for something like Gen.G? Now, let's take a look at the itemization here. It was just all about those last-minute saves. Sages, Sanctuaries, your Crimson, Frigid Charges, as well as your Moon Goddesses. Those were the big game changers. Every frame of invincibility, every frame of stun was a game changer down here.
Yeah, and if you told me that SCARZ was going to take it to Tempest Dragon and still have a chance to win this game, but Enfeng had 0 kills, I would have been like, no, you're crazy, bro. That's not possible, right? But the fact that they were able to do it, because Enfeng was just constantly split pushing and providing a lot of that space, but he wasn't able to get those pickoffs. And this is kind of why Gen.G did such a good job of working around the Hanshin. He's like, yeah, he can split push, but nobody got caught out.
Yeah, very well done and well managed on the side of Gen.G. Now, was it because Enfeng wasn't aggressive enough? Or was it because Gen.G was just too pressurizing in the wave management in such a way that Enfeng had nothing else to care about?
You know, I'm kind of thinking it was more of the fact that their playstyle, right? And the way that the team was drafting, like Gen.G had, you know, the Chano, they had the Kongmin, you had so much burst that if Enfeng actually took any of those fights, he would have been deleted. So he had to play super safe, and he was just split pushing more than anything else.
It was a big risk, right? Because he could have gone in for the Chano. It would have been traded out, but here we go. It is Wawa those death at sunsets were winning sunsets for the side of Gen.G. 2, 3, and 4. Step by step, he cut them down, dealing only 22% damage. Not a lot, but because of the way he repositioned the rest of SCARZ, it opened up so many doors for Inuwa to just go crazy like that.
He just played so well. And through it all, I mean, Inuwa set it up where everybody actually went for him. They looked to trade. And you see the rest of Gen.G just cleaning up, just running at them and just chasing them down. Ochik had nowhere to go. He got picked off as well. And it was just constantly this like reoccurring theme that just happened where Gen.G were able to, again, off the back of Inuwa or Wawa, like in these highlights, you're going to see Wawa, the Death at Sunsets, multiple times, multi-man. He was on point.
Yeah, and see, this is the difficulty. They wanted to get Rock, but every time they go for him, they will make a trade on the side of Gen.G, and they already knew that this was one of the potential win conditions.
Yeah, look at with this Tempest Dragon. Look at how Wawa had spread them out. They couldn't even contest the Tempest Dragon because Wawa was in the heart of the enemy team, pushing everyone back. SCARZ all-out retreat. It was pretty much a rout at that point, but Gen.G were able to just go in. Again, another amazing Death at Sunset. Wawa was so on point, pushing them back, and they were able to close this game out. But again, SCARZ did such a good job of holding. Their defense was on point. They extended the game as long as possible, but unfortunately, it was too much Gen.G in this case.
Yep, this was the big mistake. ASD got a little bit overly zealous, and Wawa, the moment he saw that opening, he knew it was game over. And I mean, look, this was a moment where SCARZ continually held, even when there was a Tempest buff. That's how difficult SCARZ, the cards have been dealt for the side of SCARZ, and still, they managed to hang on.
Yeah, found ways, right? And look, both of these teams, heavyweight fighters, you know, they get punched, they get knocked down, they got right back up, right? Both of these teams really wanted it, and so it's so impressive going into this Group S, right? Going into this best of 5, SCARZ really bouncing back after a somewhat lackluster performance, dare I say, with Nongshim, but going into this one and really sticking it to them. But Gen.G just too much. SCARZ back to the drawing board. They need to figure things out as they lost 2 series today.
Right, so we'll let the production team work on the stats and we'll give you the final standings for the day. I mean, it's obviously still Nongshim at the top. It was a clean 3-0 dismantling on of the side of SCARZ today. And SCARZ, look, any team that gets dismantled like that, I think you come into a series with a little less confidence. But this series, I think it definitely will build them up for tomorrow because they have to be ready. This is not the only time they're meeting. They are going to be playing each other again tomorrow.
Yeah, double round robin. And speaking of tomorrow, or it's today, excuse me, this is the results of what happened. Spoiler alert, guys. Nongshim 3-0'd SCARZ in the first series. R8 3-0'd Vicious in the second one. And that last series, Gen.G ekes out a victory 3-2, taking it to SCARZ. Unfortunately, SCARZ with an 0-2 day.
Yeah, so pretty exciting. And of course, with that being said, this is the standings for now. Group S, we're going to have Nongshim at the top, followed by Gen.G following closely, second, and then we're going to have SCARZ in the third. Meanwhile, in Group A, it's going to be R8 at the top because of their win, leaving Crazy Raccoons, Vicious, as well as Venomous, all the way at the bottom, 2, 3, and 4 respectively.
Yeah, actually, Vicious versus Venomous, that happened off stream, and it looks like Vicious pulled out the victory on that one. But let's talk about tomorrow's games. First series of the day is going to be Nongshim versus Gen.G. That one's going to be a crazy game. Second match is going to be Vicious versus Crazy Raccoon. And the third one, again, a repeat of what we just saw, SCARZ versus Gen.G. This is, again, a double round robin, and this will be the second game, and I guarantee that's going to be an amazing series too.
Yeah, so drink your coffee tomorrow, man. It's going to be a long day, but it's going to be an exciting day because I'm so curious how is Nongshim going to hold up against the Gen.G creativity, the unorthodox approach to the game, and whether it's going to be weird enough to kind of shake up the lineup of Nongshim RedForce.
It's going to be fun, right? I think those unorthodox drafts are just so much fun to watch, and I love the way Gen.G brings these to the table. It brings so much interest, and again, you can just pull out the victories when you just kind of catch everyone off guard.
Yep, but of course, that is our time for today. Thank you for joining us. It's been fun. It's been great. We'll see you again tomorrow. It's been your favorite kind of tofu, Kindofu. And with me has been Holler. Holler, any last word?
No, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.
From the night.